Something has stopped us now. I'll tell you how. We're gonna live on through it. Let's stay inside and spend our time taking things in stride. Good times aren't held at bay. Just stay away from the population and wash your hands to kill off those bacterial strands. Now we're trying to keep a little distance. It's for sure our best resistance to making things a whole lot worse. Come on, kids, let's all go down to the sink. Wash those grubby little hands of yours. 20 seconds. You never know, it might just save a life. Something has stopped us now, but don't you fret, it'll for sure get better. We'll soon be hand in hand, going down to Disneyland. Oh, won't that be so grand, though something has stopped us now. Ah-cha-cha.
Good morning, happy Saturday, and welcome to the Shop Disney Frustration After Party, otherwise known as Locked In with Eric Morton. You're locked in with me and my friends. Butters is just going to start the show off with us to say hi to everybody. Things are going great. We are, it's a kind of a gray day out. I was going to say it's a beautiful day. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's beautiful, but you know, it would be a nice day to be in the parks or doing something different. But here we are. Stuck together, so we're glad that you're here to watch and hang out with us for the next, I don't know, 3 hours or whatever. It's going to be kind of what you guys are accustomed to. We're going to do some silly discussions. We're going to interact with you guys. We're going to do a recap, and we will end the show in the last hour or so with some Disney death matches, maybe some of the most gut-wrenching moments that we've had yet in a Disney death match. So I'm going to hand Butters off, but I wanted her to say hi to everybody real quick, and then let's introduce the rest of the panel. Here you go, Butters. There you go. Introduce the rest of the panel. We have Eric Wolf.
Hey guys, good morning.
We have Miss Allison.
Hello.
And of course, Cosmic Chris Reed.
How's it going, everyone?
Yeah, everybody looks great. Looks like we're still feeling refreshed and excited to do another show. I know they don't always go smooth, but that's kind of what we built here so far with Locked In. I want to briefly go to the recap, and then we can kind of go into talking about some other things. But just a quick recap of this past week. Specifically with WDWNT live, all the live content, and some of you are aware of some news related to the WDNT live programming that we will discuss. And there's all kinds of other stuff going on. Some places have opened. People are starting to emerge from their holes, and we'll discuss kind of what that means. First of all, last Saturday after my show, then later that day we had Deep into Plus. That was like they kind of did a from what I could tell, like a recap. Rob made a really funny intro video that was sort of based on Disney attractions. It was a cute little video at the beginning. It was neat, and more Deep into Plus. You guys are used to Deep into Plus. It's kind of become a mainstay around here. Sunday was Mother's Day. So we hope that everybody reached out to your mother if you're lucky enough to have your mother in your life. And I know I talked to my mom. We tried to get her on FaceTime chat with all of the siblings, and it involved technology and timing and people's schedules and things. So that's not always easy, but it was good to talk to my mom and remind her how special she is. Sunday night, we had Pressing Issues. Pressing Issues is becoming a pretty big, powerful show for us. They discuss things like Disney Springs opening and the Shanghai Disneyland opening and a lot of other important issues. That show every Sunday night. Be sure to check it out. Monday, they did a Shanghai Disneyland trip recap. That was Tom and Jason. They went to Shanghai. I don't know if it was a year ago, something like that, within the last year or so, and talked about what it's like to go to Shanghai Disneyland and the good things and the bad things. Interestingly enough, I know I've heard Tom kind of speak not so fondly of Shanghai Disneyland, but I know, like on Party with Pete Thursday, we had Carol, who some of you know as the piano player at the Rose and Crown at Epcot. And Carol talked about how it has taken all the best stuff from Disney and all the best lessons that they've learned and rolled them all into one park. So a lot of opinions on that. I don't know. I've never been there, but I know it's a massive park. I love to check it out, and I'm happy that it is open. And they are the the guinea pig or the canary in the coal mine, whatever you want to say, about how these parks are going to roll out their changes. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Then we had Cosmic Read Live. How'd that go, Chris?
It was good. We talked Disney character interactions and some of our favorites who we'd like to see, and what might happen going forward with character interactions given this whole situation. And we ended up drawing Goofy by memory, and they didn't really turn out that well. If you could, that was that's what I did. So
I like it. I'm a fan. It's definitely better than what I could have done. Maybe we could try that later. Get your second crack at it. You're Goofy from
good times.
My God. Also, I see you got a little bit of a new look. Got a fresh haircut.
Mm-hmm.
That's a homemade haircut.
It's a homemade. I went to my wife and said I want the Tom Corliss, and they just shaved it all off. It was good.
They put a 2-guard on it and go. Is that what you do?
Pretty much.
Oh boy. And then you got a little bit of a new facial hair look, I would say. Kind of like I told you when we were first starting to show, Super Trooper kind of look like a Super Trooper now. I like it.
Super Trooper, I just need the badge. Yeah, no kidding. The quarantine's doing something to me. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I went and I got a haircut a couple of days ago. The barber shops and beauty salons in Orange County are open, but it is not the easiest thing in the world. You kind of have to have an appointment, and there's sort of a process you go through. In my case, you had to check in online, and then with like an app, and then you show up to the place and you park in your car until they text you that you can approach the building. They texted me, said I could approach the building. I approached, and I had a woman outside sitting at a desk saying, "Hey, what's your name?" "Hey, my name's Eric." "Okay, have a seat over there." They had some chairs on the sidewalk that were 10, 12 feet apart from one another. And then the guy came out and was like, "Come on in, Eric." So they wouldn't you couldn't pick your stylist. You pretty much had to go with whatever they had, which I didn't care. He did fine. I mean, I'm going to Supercuts. It's not like or whatever it was. It wasn't like I was going to a fancy joint, right? And then he started cutting my hair, but you have to leave your mask on. And the mask I have is homemade, and it has elastic straps that go around the back of your head twice. I didn't want it on my ears, right? So that was a little weird because I had to take those off. And then I literally had to hold the mask over my face the whole time while he gave me a haircut. So I didn't even bother asking to trim my beard. We just handled that when I got home, because maybe they're not allowed to trim your beard. I don't really know. But anyway, and then of course it'd been so long since my hair was crazy out of control, and it'd been so long since those people have had a chance to work. You had to, give them a little something extra if you have the opportunity when you're going out there, whether this is bars and restaurants, or, well, not bars yet, but restaurants, or, your barber, give them a few extra bucks. They've been unable to work for quite a while now. So it's good to see a little bit of normal creeping back in. They were very strictly practicing social distancing, which is probably a great idea if they want to stay open. So anyway, I digress. Your hair got me distracted, Chris. I'm blaming you. So then Tuesday we had the Wolf Den. Eric Wolf, why don't you recap what you guys did on Tuesday?
Yeah, so Tuesday we had myself, we had Jilly, we had Spencer and Kim join us, and that episode was actually really movie heavy. We theorized on the new or the potentially new Pirates of the Caribbean movie, maybe going with Red as our main character in that movie, or so we did that. We also fan casted Hercules, a live action version of Hercules. We did that, which was kind of fun because some of us had musical versions, and then I had a non-musical version. So It was fun to see what everyone's different interpretations of that were going to be.
Yeah. When you guys fan casted the new Pirates of the Caribbean, did you assume that Karen Gillan was going to be Red, or did you fan cast Red as well? Because I know there's been a lot of news about her potentially playing a Red type of character.
Yeah, so actually we didn't fan cast Pirates of the Caribbean. We just talked about what can be the plot points and what could the movie essentially be. So that's what we did with the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Yeah, I assume the plot will have something to do with maximizing profits, but I don't know.
You're not wrong.
And then I have opinions on this Hercules. First of all, I'm sick of all the Disney rebooting franchises and stuff. They're rarely better. They're, like, I don't know. They take a beloved franchise and they take a A-list. They take a Beyonce or a Will Smith or somebody and put them in there and try to make it live action or like really kind of creepy computer animation. That's very well done. Not my thing, right? But with Hercules, what makes Hercules a great Disney movie is the music, right? Nobody's like, oh, what an innovative story that's 1 billion years old. The music, like they have to make it a musical. Why would you? Sorry, Butters is out there sharing her opinions with the neighborhood. It happens, guys. My neighbors are probably not quite as fond of Butters as the people in this chat. So I don't see the point of doing like a Hercules that's not with that music. So I don't know whether it's going to be a musical or whether it would be a musical with some new music or just redo the old stuff. Who knows? Yeah. But that's just my opinion, and my opinion is worthless around here until we get to death matches.
My thing with the whole Hercules, and the reason why I casted it as non-musical, is because the directors for the directors for Hercules are going to be the Russo brothers, which have directed multiple Avengers movies, and everything else that they've done by themselves have been very dark. And one thing that I did was try to cast people that were already in the Marvel universe, because they like to use people that they've already used. So mine was not necessarily.
So you're doing like Hercules touching. Are you saying your idea is to have Hercules touch the Marvel universe in some way?
No. So I'll give you an example. Like my Hades was. Oh my gosh, he blanked on me. I have him right here. Hold on. Oh, where's my Hades? Oh man, what's his name? Jeff Goldblum.
Tom Hiddleston. Oh, Jeff Goldblum, that'd be good.
Jeff Goldblum was my Hades choice, because I was like, he's already worked in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so the Russo brothers will probably like choose someone from there to play like some character. So I was just like, oh yeah, that'll be fun to pick him.
Wasn't there like a Hercules show or series like in the 90s that was kind of like Xena Warrior Princess production value, like kind of looked like they probably filmed it behind someone's house. Yeah, I remember that. We should bring that back. All right, then we did there was some sort of Three Musketeers watch along, which I find it funny that Pete was on that. I don't know if it was Pete's first exposure to the Three Musketeers, being a non-movie person that Pete is, or if he had watched it and prepped. Who knows? But anyway, they watched the Three Musketeers. You want to watch it with them? I think you can go back and do that. By the way, people have talked a lot about watch alongs, and my understanding is they are going to continue to do watch alongs moving forward, but they'll probably be like a Wigs screening where they can screen it in like private rooms and not publicly. So I don't know. I'm not educated enough to speak on that, but I heard that. So sometimes thoughts fly through my ear and out of my mouth.
Yeah, if you want to watch along, be a Wigs member.
Yeah. We had Universal Orlando news today again. Did you watch it? Were you on it? Was anybody participating?
I should be on this Tuesday.
Okay. I know you have a lot of familiarity with Universal, and they are the local test bed for large-scale districts reopening. As we know, they reopened City Walk, or a number of City Walk facilities reopened on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
And if you go back on Twitter and things, you see that we were there. We had people that were there to kind of chronicle what was going on. It was kind of interesting. They shut down those moving sidewalks and put social distancing, like, I don't know if they were decals on the ground, but some kind of markings on the ground. And people would go in and they had to get a temperature scan, and you had to have a mask, and I don't know how they're going to enforce this. I mean, I know they can enforce it at the gate. Go ahead.
The moving sidewalks, I'm guessing it was when our people were there very early. I got there around 4:30, 4:45, and those moving walkways were working. So that might have just been because it's like a big block of people.
What I was told is they had them blocked off until you cleared a checkpoint, and then once you got through there, you could get on the moving sidewalk. because as we joke, that is a city, very long walk. If you don't have the moving sidewalks there, depending on where you park and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, interesting stuff. I want to see how they're going to play. I still have Annie, one of our reporters, picked up a dozen voodoo donuts and brought them to the studio where we did News Tonight. And when we got done, there were still like 4 or 5, 6 donuts left. Tom took a couple and they said, Eric, why don't you take these home? So I still have a couple of the voodoo donuts. The voodoo donut was open. The Auntie Anne's pretzels was open, and they had a very complicated way to hand off your credit card to this person who hands it to that person who filled, the sanitized check tray and all this stuff. Yeah. So they're taking this very seriously. The bars, if you wanted to get a cocktail, though, Pete said it was really difficult, like 2 hours, because I think Margaritaville was open, but you had to have a wait. You can't walk up to the bar. You have to be a customer. And there's another place that I'm not familiar with all these places. I'm just curious how they're going to enforce the mask thing. And this goes for Disney too, but especially Universal. They can't even make dudes wear shirts at Universal. I don't know how they're going to make people wear a mask. So
you're not wrong.
I guess we'll see. But that's maybe I assume that Disney is paying close attention to how this is going at Universal, because we have Disney Springs opening this week, which we'll talk about soon, or in the next week. So we'll talk about that soon. Wednesday night was also Park Center, their 101st episode. So no, I didn't get any word from any of them that they had any feelings if they were offended by the video that I released last week, or probably don't even watch. So but it was tongue in cheek. I don't think they would be upset, but you never know. We're at the point now where I don't think a lot of our staff members are watching all the shows, because people are really burning hard to try to create stuff on their own, and people have busy lives and things are opening back up. Then we had on Thursday, Party with Pete. Pete had Carol from the UK, the Rose and Crown Pub. You might know her. She also used to play piano at the Comedy Warehouse. She played piano at the Grand Floridian. She's a very outgoing, gregarious, funny, talented person. It's an interesting watch. Give it a shot. I showed up on my lunch, during lunch, and kind of hung out for a while. And she just really can, like, off the cuff, kind of play a little song and sing to you about something. She wrote an original Disney World song that I think everybody really liked.
So good.
Didn't you, Allison?
So good.
Yeah. So, yeah, she is. Courtney says, who's not British? Carol is not British. She went to the University of Florida. I think she's local, or she's from the area, I think. But the funny story that she told, and the Wigs know this because I talked about a News Tonight post show the other night, was just that she talked about going to Helsinki, Finland, and knowing that Yeehaw Bob was there at the same time, and saying, let's get together for breakfast. I just think how weird that would be to show up somewhere in Helsinki and see Yeehaw Bob and Carol having breakfast together, like halfway across the world. So anyway, Party with Pete, as you guys know, great show, and Pete does a great job. Pete will be joining us in the second hour, and he'll be here for Disney Deathmatch as well. And I'll talk about Pete in a minute, because I saw Pete yesterday. WDW News Tonight was really our first time having people back in the studio. It was really weird. It was fun, but having worked with all these people and done this show for 2 months now, and not actually seeing them face to face, except over the internet, and then being in the studio together is weird, and people are still maintaining social distance. So if you look at the match game, which we did, and at Leveled, which is a new segment that made no sense to me, that we probably need to refine a little bit. If you see it, they put us all in like the Brady Bunch, pattern, but we didn't have that many cameras in the studio. So literally they were saying, Eric, you sit here, and Jilly's sitting back there, or whatever, or whoever. When we were first there, when we were testing it out, and the same camera was actually my face and her face, and we're totally in different places because the camera can do like a virtual thing. But then when we actually filmed it, I was in the living room, and I was sitting facing one direction, and Axel was facing like a diagonal direction from me, and they were getting us both with the same camera. So our angle, we looked a little bit distorted. Our angles are weird, but it was kind of cool way to pull it off and still be able to social distance. Anyway, I always say that News Tonight gets better every episode. I've been saying that for a while. I don't know if this was our best effort. There were a lot of gaffes, and I think we had a new segment that we need to refine a little bit. It was fun. It's always fun. It was still funny because, of course, I write just a hilarious monologue, right? And then but we tried the new leveled segment, and I think we refined it on the fly because Tom starts the level. He has this new idea for leveled, which is really not ranking things, but putting them in tiers. So instead of saying this thing's 1, this thing's 2, they just go, here's like your premier category. Here's your next category down here. And the way the categories were named was a little confusing. So like memorable is a category. Well, they're all memorable. It doesn't mean they're good. It doesn't mean they should be in that second tier. They might be in the third or fourth tier. So we renamed some of that. What else made it difficult was we were ranking background. Our first time doing level, we were ranking, we were tiering background music, and we didn't have the music. So I'm just supposed to go like, oh yeah, I didn't know it was going to be Magic. I came up with my tiers. I came with like 5 things that I liked that were background music. There might have been an attraction at Epcot, or it could have been an area at Epcot. And so when they go, we're going to tier the Magic Kingdom background music kind of on the fly. I didn't know that till I got there. I was like, oh, and they're like, here's some background music you've heard, but you probably don't know what this is, but it has a name. And so to do that without the music was kind of tough. And we can't always just play the music because of copyright reasons. Our YouTube videos could get demonetized, which nobody wants. Yeah, you guys don't want to hear it. Don't care about that. But anyway, it was an interesting segment. It has potential, but we have leveled is putting things in levels or tiers, and our logo is a bulldozer leveling things. So we're just trying to figure it out, guys. They're not all perfect when we're all working remotely from one another. So anyway, check it out. It's still a fun episode. We also played the match game, which worked out pretty fun, except
that was fun.
Like, was it Pat that ran into a buzzsaw? Like somebody just like bang, 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 like matched all these, matched up a whole bunch of times. And then there's more difficult ones, right? It's hard to make that game, I guess, if you want to say fair, so it was a lot of fun. We did get some matches on some things. We had a lot of weird wild card stuff, and we screwed up a little bit, but it was fun. Russ the Robot was there. Next time, maybe Eric Wolf could be there instead. Russ took your spotlight. Yeah.
Did you have some place to go or something? Because you were there earlier.
He was busy.
Oh yeah, no, I had to just dip, and then I came back for the Wigs post show.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He's a complicated man, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to
What's
leave.
kind of funny is that me and I think Eric Morton, maybe you as well, Wolf, but definitely me. I've been working remotely longer than I've worked in person with everybody.
Oh, that's true. That's true for sure.
For you as well?
Oh, yeah.
Eric?
That's funny.
That's definitely true for me, because I was only working there a few weeks when this happened.
Well, no, I started in the fall, but we started doing the YouTube show like a week before the quarantine thing started. So, yeah.
Well, it's interesting for me because I was hired just to kind of come on News Tonight and be a panelist. And next thing 3 weeks later, I have my own show, and someone had asked, like, we got to talk about this in the Week show too. Someone asked, my dad asked, like, I think my dad had asked, like, oh, so what guidelines were you given for having a show? And I was like, literally none. Like, they just said, someone do a show on Saturday. I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then I was like, it's like,
yeah.
And now you're in your
think he froze.
Oh yeah, he did. The same thing happened with me with the YouTube show. I was just doing the radio thing, and like an hour, maybe 45 minutes before, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna throw you on YouTube tonight as well." It's like, what?
Did I lock?
Honestly, how I found out. Oh, there you are. All right,
I'm back. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I said some really insightful stuff. I gave you guys the formula for nuclear for cold fusion.
Oh man, always.
I hope everybody was taking notes. Anyway, having a show was just something that happened to some of us. So we're making it up as we go. We've been trying our best. We just can't drop F-bombs. Yeah, you're back.
Eric Wolf is here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was me that was.
I don't have.
All right, I froze for a second too.
I just go on other people's
But we can't
shows.
drop F-bombs. We got to plug the site. Those are pretty much the only guidelines I was given. So as the shows have gone on, I think at the beginning, all of our shows were maybe kind of similar. We'd come on and we'd rank things, and we'd come on and we'd say hypotheticals, and we'd come on and do these. And each show as it's gone on is kind of gotten its own identity. So Pete is a lot of, well, Party with Pete is more like a party, and he has musicians in there and celebrity interviews and all these things. And my show is or Eric's show then is more, they do a lot of fan casting and a lot of fun stuff like that. And my show is more just like being a smart ass and let's see what happens today. And then killing off some of your favorite Disney attractions. So yeah, I don't think Tom hadn't seen much of it. He just knew that I like to kill off attractions. So I was like, sorry, that's kind of a thing that we do now. So we'll get to that later, as you guys know. Anyway, so check it out. News Tonight, of course, our flagship show. Friday was WDWNT Play. They played Disneyland Adventure PC game, I guess. I've never played it. So I saw it real quick, and looked like a pretty cool game. He's running around Disneyland. So yeah, right. I mean, it's better than running around my apartment. What? Oh, I'm frozen. No, that was a while ago. I was frozen. I think I'm unfrozen. I think I'm unfrozen. I was frozen a while ago. Lee might be lagging behind a few seconds on her iPad watching. I don't know. And so we played some kind of adventure PC game. Looked kind of cool. And last night, I want to talk about this, Chris. Cosmic Reed was the host of the Disney Digital Prom. So I guess you were spinning tunes on WDWN Tunes, and then you were hosting on YouTube, basically, which is kind of your thing. Yeah. And then did we get a lot of? Were people sitting in pictures? What was happening?
So, I hope I'm not frozen. Hello? Am I?
I hear you. But there you go. Your video's not great, but I hear you. Maybe I thought this was my internet connection. Maybe it is the internet connection with our software. I don't know. But I see you moving now.
I wonder. You hear? Yeah. Okay. So we played music. We tuned lots of like Disney park remixes. There was a remix of the Main Street Electorate, which is really cool. But we also threw in, because it was a prom party, it was the 20th, and the Vitamin C, the graduation song, and Footloose, Disney songs, ones that they would have heard at their prom, and people. And then in the chat here on YouTube, we kind of just discussed any people threw up questions, ideas. We just chatted for 2 hours, but it was a great time. It was the second time we did a dance party thing, but I loved it. Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, I didn't hear all of that, but I got the gist. I don't know if you guys were having trouble hearing that. We're having some broadcast quality issues, but bear with us. As you've come to expect, perfect technological achievement here on this show. So I'm a little surprised. So anyway, that was the last week in WDWNT Live. Please go check them out. Click that thumbs up button if you like, and subscribe and all that stuff. Subscribe, select the bell, click show all notifications. They make it as complicated as they can. It's almost like Shop Disney. I want to take this opportunity, wish a happy birthday to John Mann. John Mann's birthday is today, so sending this out to Mooresville, Indiana. Happy birthday, John. We are kind of open for business now in Orange County. Kind of. And I did go to, first of all, I was invited yesterday. Pete Carney lives in an apartment complex that's, I don't know, not too far away. It's really kind of close to Epcot and everything else too. But Pete had his apartment complex had approached him about DJing. He did like an impromptu DJ party maybe a month or two ago, just from his back patio, and the apartment complex, I guess, reached out to him and was like, maybe we don't do that, but we'll hit you up for something else. So they hit him up. So he's DJing on the pool deck, which is locked, and their pool is closed. And then there's a big lake, and then all the apartments are around it. So when I got there, there's people all over the banks of this little lake, dancing, throwing down picnic blankets and dancing and having a good time. I took a little video of that. My video is not the best, but I think we have that, Kevin. Do you have that?
Now it's downtown clubbing, ladies' night. Seen shorty, she was crazy, right? And I approached baby like, "Ma, what's your age and type?" She looked at me and said, "You's a baby, right?" I told her I'm 18 and live a crazy life. Plus I tell you what the 80s like.
Oh, that's so
so
cool.
Yeah, he lives in a perfect place to do that. Like the way that apartment complex is almost built like an amphitheater across a lake from like there's just a perfect spot. So we went. Sean Kloss was there, our social media manager, some friends, and then a woman came up, and I guess she lives nearby, and she's like, "Let me in, let me in." I don't live there, so I was like, "Okay." I open the pool gate, and she came in and started telling Pete what songs to play and how to be a DJ, and here's how you get the crowd pumped up and everything else. And next thing you know, he's playing for like a half hour longer, So it was interesting. But this woman had a little dog with her, and the dog was a tiny version of Butters. It had the thing with where your tongue hangs out, but she was like, other than the tongue hanging out, she looked like a tiny version of Butters. It was the cutest little dog, and I took a picture. Do we have that, Kevin? Okay, there we go. That's Lee with the little dog. But I mean, her back was the same exact color of fur. It's just a mini, probably elderly Butters. I'm not sure, but it was the sweetest little dog, and it just hung out there, and I thought people would like to see that.
I'm so glad you mentioned the fact that was Lee, because you showed the picture and I was like, wow, the lady even looks like Lee. Like, this is crazy.
I know that is Lee. That is our Lee. So, yeah, Mini Butters was in the house. So I had a fun time just playing with Mini Butters. And afterwards was kind of our experiment, going out to dinner. What's that like now? So we have gone to a couple places recently, like as they've eased back in, but this is like we went out with a group of us and went to like the Icon Park area, which is not an area I frequent. That's like where the giant Orlando Eye Ferris wheel is, that is not open. It is closed. But there are restaurants and things around there that are open. So we went and checked that out. We tried to go to the Tin Roof, and we couldn't find the right like table setup in there. There were some tables available, but they're really far away, and they're kind of spreading things out. So we go to Yard House, which is, as you know, like a craft beer place, but they have food. So I got to eat a steak I got to eat a steak in a restaurant for the first time in a long time. It was good. So it was good to see those guys and good to hang out a little bit and see life getting maybe a little bit back to normal. I don't know if you guys have been out and about yet, but it's a little weird, but it feels foreign but familiar, I guess.
Yeah.
Have you gone out yet, Eric?
So I've been going out a couple times, like to Target, Publix, stuff like that. Yesterday I went to my friend's house. We watched the new Scooby-Doo movie. So we did that, and we were out a little bit. We went to go get pizza and stuff like that. So yeah, it's weird, but at the same time normal. Like it's funny.
Yeah, to me, it's just you walk out and you kind of can tell, like, there are still, like we talked about last week, there's different tiers of people, and within each tier there's tiers of people. So there are people who are adventurous enough to go out but are very, very cautious with their masks on and whatever, and there are people who are adventurous enough to go out and aren't wearing masks but are keeping their distance, and there are people who are adventurous enough to go out who are probably being closer to reckless. So it's just interesting to see how the bathroom works. I'm a kick open the bathroom door. If that's what they got to do. Get rid of bathroom doors that require a handle. Get those bathroom doors that you could just kick open. So kick open the bathroom door. I don't want to. You stand there and give people their space while they're washing their hands or whatever's going on there. So I guess that's our new normal. How about you, Allison? Have you gone out?
I haven't gone out too much. All of our groceries we've just been doing through Instacart, so they've been getting delivered to our house. I went out to get a new phone, so that's very exciting.
Hey.
And gosh, the CVS.
What kind of phone? Wait, I want to know what. I want to know what kind of phone you got.
I got an iPhone 11, and so did Lucas.
Oh.
So very exciting because
I'm still on the iPhone 8 with the broken the iPhone 8 with the broken button.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not used.
I still like the button. I still like the button though. So yeah, I don't want to. Don't take my button away.
I had to really get used to it. It was a very long story that actually I won't get into it, but it actually caused us to switch providers. We had a terrible experience in this, like our previous carrier store, and we were like, this is awful, we're switching. And because we switched carriers, we got a really great deals because we switched over, and we both got deals on these new phones. So we both were able to update our phones to iPhone 11s, which was very nice.
I might have to try that. I've kind of hopped around. I was loyal Sprint for like 15 years. And then, but I was, I lived in different parts of the country where Sprint worked great, especially like when I lived in Kansas City. Well, Sprint's headquartered there, so they have great service. Sure. But in Florida, Sprint was really bad. I had a lot of trouble. And so I went then through work. I think one of my work phones was T-Mobile, and then another work phone became AT&T, and then we switched to Verizon. And Verizon's great everywhere except my apartment complex. So who knows? I even had Google Fi. I had a second phone when I went on my cruise to Norway and all these places where I got Google Fi because I could get like $10 international plan or whatever it was, so I could have data when I was roaming. And I could have done that with Verizon, but it's like a work account, and I didn't want to mess with my work account. So anyway, I guess I've had everybody. Cell phones. I'm due for a new one. iPhone 8. I feel like a grandpa.
It's a good phone. I was very happy with the iPhone 8, but it was just time for me to switch.
Yeah, time for me to fly. So you went out and you got a new phone, and now sit down restaurants. Anything happening yet? Yeah. Anything good down there?
I haven't gone to any sit down restaurants. I did go order food from Capone's, which is in Margaritaville. I don't live too far from there. It's like this I love this place. It is like everybody's dressed like a gangster, and their menus look like a newspaper article, like about like Capone being arrested, but on the back is like all their specials.
Didn't they used to have a Capone's over by Celebration? I think they used to have one.
There.
Well, there was one that was like
by Celebration is the show, the dinner show.
Okay.
Yeah, they still have that. That's still here.
But you're talking about by Sunset Walk, right, Allison? You're like by Sunset Walk, Margaritaville Resort, and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's where the H2O water park is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that area is called Sunset Walk. They have they have a movie theater there now. They have a Yeoman's Pub. They have a Ford's Garage. I don't know. There's a number of places. Whatever. When they shut down Bongos at Disney Springs, and then that group, like with Gloria Estefan and all of them, has opened a restaurant in Sunset Walk too. So that's a cool area. That's an up and coming area. Hopefully,
it's very nice. It's very nice.
Yeah, very very nice.
The Capone's that you're talking about,
we just cook out food.
Allison, is that a dinner show or no?
No, I don't. I was only in the restaurant once. And I was like, this is very cute, but everything is very, very themed.
It might just be themed,
It was very heavily themed.
Yeah.
All the staff super friendly, very, very nice people that work there. And when I went to do the takeout, they had this big H frame of the list of all of the things that they do for safety now. And they have little markers on the tables outside that say this table has been cleaned, and the bathrooms will be shut down every 90 minutes for cleaning, and they had the markers on the floor, and all the staff were wearing masks. They were super friendly. They said that they would sanitize the pens between each use. So if you haven't been to that Margaritaville area, Capone's,
it's cool.
I really recommend it. And just Margaritaville in general, love it. Great little area.
Yeah, I have a friend that just bought a house there that mostly is rented out as a vacation home. So that's great. I'm not aware of I didn't know there were dinner shows down there. I mean, if you want a dinner show, go to Denny's at 2 a.m. after the clubs close. That's a free dinner show.
Yeah.
You might get to see it's like a WWE match. And Chris, have you been out? How are things up in the Great White North?
So it's starting to open up here. I think the restaurants are open at or it's patios right now that are open at 25.
Right. Uh-oh.
Takeouts.
Chris.
No, not again. Seriously?
No, we got you
back.
We got you back.
All right.
You're back.
Yeah, so my big purchase was going out to Best Buy and picking up a Switch Lite to get Animal Crossing. That's honestly been one of the only times that I've gone out.
What's a Switch Lite? Is that just a cheaper version of a Switch?
Yeah, basically it's
Oh boy,
portable version of it. Like you can you can play online. Am I frozen again? I look like I'm frozen.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
not again.
You're a little herky.
Why does this keep happening?
This
poor Chris.
This Animal Crossing thing is like taking the world by storm. I remember playing it on GameCube. I thought it was really fun back in the day. Like I got like just kind of tricked into playing it, and then I was like, "Oh, this is pretty fun." Next thing I know, it's been 2 hours. I used to have it Switch, but I never played it, so I got rid of it. So now I don't have a way to play it. I guess the Switch Lite, I have to look into that. Play some Animal Crossing. Go give Tom Nook some of my hard-earned money.
Yeah,
and
it's
catch
a little
fish.
Yeah.
So that's what you do, right? You go fishing and you go see what Tom Nook has for sale. That's pretty much the game. It's kind of like going to shopdisney.com. So,
It sounds like Harvest Moon. I don't know if anybody remembers Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
I've heard
was
of
that?
it.
I love that
Same
game.
kind of thing.
That game.
Yeah.
So the big news then, of course, for the locals is Disney Springs is opening on the 22nd, which is just in a few days, or the 20th. I'm sorry, the 20th. So like in 4 days, Disney Springs is opening. At one point, they were saying they were going to open things on like Memorial Day weekend. You're like, what? Are you crazy? So I guess they backed off of that and they've changed. But a lot of the places at Disney Springs are open. The whole place is not open, or everything's not open, but a lot of places are open. People are announcing things. So I know that the Boathouse will be open, and I know that Blaze will be open, and I know that STK will be open, and a number of other places. I don't believe we've heard anything about Chef Art Smith's Homecoming, and I don't think we've heard anything about Splitsville yet. Did we hear about Haleo? Is Haleo opening? Because that'll be a good one. Maria and Enzo's, I'm not sure. We've been releasing a lot of articles about it. They come in waves. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But
it's coming in like big waves, yeah.
I'm curious to see how this is going to work, because Disney Springs is easier to get to, I think, than Universal, in terms of you don't have to go to a parking garage and worry about paying to park or proving that you don't need to pay to park and all that kind of stuff. And it's a little bit more easy to access, so Universal can really control guest access to City Walk, where Disney Springs you can kind of come in from a number of different places. Disney Springs is larger than City Walk, and I guess we'll see. It has there's a lot of stuff going on there. We'll see if people respect the social distancing guidelines, and we'll see what it's like to try to eat at these places. That Chicken Guy is going to open up. There was my joke that got rejected from Tom this week because he wanted to do something about the Sauce Slinger. I said the Chicken Guy, what did I say? The Guy Fieri's Chicken Guy will be opening. So that's not only a heads up to you people who want to go there, but it's a warning to the janitorial staff to prepare for a lot of vomit cleanup or something. It was a tasteless joke, but I really hate the Chicken Guy. That place is terrible.
Oh, I love the sauces.
Yeah, I don't like the Chicken Guy either.
So much fun.
Here's the thing with sauces. There's such thing as too much. There's such thing as too much choice. So it's the same thing. You go to Tijuana Flats, and they got like 79 sauces there, and half of them are called Slap Me in the Ass and Call Me Sally, or whatever, but they're different versions of that name, and I have no idea what sauces I like. It's even like that if you are local, you've probably heard of Pollo Tropical. Same thing. Like there's too many sauces. Give me like 3 choices. Give me like a hot, a medium, but I don't need 79 different kinds of sauces unless it's wings or something like that. We get that because the sauce is a thing. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Chicken Guy was a disappointment for me, but people like Guy Fieri, I guess.
Yeah. The thing with me and Chicken Guys, like sauces, like I agree with you, Eric. Like if you're giving me way too many options, then I don't know what to choose. But I like those places that it's like, this sauce is for this. This sauce is for this.
Yeah.
Like Chicken Guy is just all chicken. So there's 39 different sauces and it's just all for chicken. Yeah. It's like, I don't know what the heck to choose. Like,
Yeah, like I don't know if you're chicken.
things.
I don't know. I don't like the concept. I like in that instance. I want some limitations to my choices. I could stand there all day, and then I get 50 sauces. And just not for me, man. I don't know. And I just didn't think. I think when we went, it was not well organized. It was not clear exactly what was going on there. There's people everywhere. I don't know. Maybe they've had time to figure out their concept and refine it a little bit. Don't like it. Anyway, I don't mean to say bad things about restaurants that people like. I just tell you guys I share my opinion on here. That's what we do. Any particular locations you're looking forward to, guys, at Disney Springs? No?
Yes.
Yes.
Raglan
Let's hear it,
Road.
Allison. Raglan Road. Yes, I do love Raglan Road.
Mm-hmm.
The
We got
Scallop Forest.
The gift cards. No, was it? Yeah, they were like gift cards where they would give you. It was like, I think it was like, buy $100, get $25 free, or 75 get 25 free. It was something like that when they first shut down, and that was to kind of help out their employees.
Haleo did the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I only, like, not that long ago, started getting into Raglan Road, and I love Irish music. I love Irish culture, Irish dancing. I love all of that, and like I really like. They have like the Lambo is delicious, and just everything that I've ever eaten there has been delicious. A little salty, but super delicious, and it's very entertaining. It's a good time.
Yeah, Raglan Road is great. I've never eaten at a like low sit down table at Raglan Road. I'm always at the bar. Probably should tell me something about my lifestyle choices. But I'm always at the bar at Raglan Road. But I've eaten there a lot, and we always get the Scallop Forest. It's a great place to get a pint of Guinness. They'll put your picture on top of the foam. It's a good time. Lots of dancing, all that stuff. And this year they just missed out on St. Patrick's Day, which is probably their biggest day. So I feel bad for them there. I'm sure they were counting on that revenue. They probably had already booked all the entertainment and had all these people. And St. Patrick's Day at Raglan Road's a big deal. They rope off the street outside so they can have more of a block party. So, it's a good time. So I'm sorry that they missed it. I look forward to giving them some of my money soon. I know Haleo did the same thing. Jose Andres did the same thing where they were selling, like, I don't know, if you buy a $100 gift card, you get $150 credit or $125 credit or something like that. And that's how they were basically generating cash flow to keep people employed and to keep, to assist people, not only employees, but I know he has some charity work that he does and things like that. So that'd be great, because that hadn't been going for that long. I know it was under construction for a long time and highly anticipated, and it's a great spot. If you guys haven't been to Haleo, it's really great. Eric, any favorites that you're looking forward to?
So, I don't typically eat at Disney Springs, and if I do, it's like the exact same places. Like I go to Blaze because I really love pizza.
And it's fairly affordable by Disney standards. Blaze, you can get a pizza for $10, $9, something like that. Yeah,
and you can put anything on it. Like you do that build your own pizza, best thing. That and like, sad face for me. I'm waiting for AMC to open so I can go enjoy a movie.
No,
again.
That's gonna be a while. You're gonna be waiting a while, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna be waiting a while.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
We love Splitsville, House of Blues, City Works. I don't think I've heard anything on. Have we heard anything on any of those? I don't think so.
No.
Boathouse is great though. I'm happy for Boathouse.
Yes.
But thank you, Patrick Brock. He wants to put another Eric for Connect 4 in the bottom.
In the bottom right, you want to get rid of me? Is that what that means?
Yeah. And Hillary, my sister, is in there. She said, how about the bread pudding at House of Blues? Of course, everybody loves the bread pudding at House of Blues. Boathouse, though, the restaurant's open, but the bars are not allowed to open yet. We will be entering phase 2 soon, and I think bars can open. But, he wants an Eric below me. Okay.
Below you.
Oh, I see. Because we have an Eric in the middle, like the locked in logo. We could make it. Yeah. We could Connect 4. Pretty sneaky, sis. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Chris, I know you live in Canada. You probably are not as on the edge of your seat about Disney Springs opening as the rest of us. I don't know if you have any opinions.
I mean, I'm
share.
excited. It's nice to see that something is opening up slowly. Things that I like there, I think I mentioned it before. I do like sitting on the patio at Jock Lindsay's, but I also love Boathouse. Blaze has been awesome, as well as we mentioned. One of the other things that I'm sure will be a while before it opens is I really enjoy the Void and that Star Wars experience that they have.
Oh yeah, you got to touch a lot of stuff at the Void that other people touch.
Yeah, so it'll be a while for that, but I mean, it's just that's something I will look forward to again once it opens. I love Springs. I love what they've done with the whole area. It's awesome. It's just nice to see that something is opening again. It's reassuring.
Another $1.99 from Patrick Brock said, I got unemployment, so now I make more than before. Yeah, we hope that doesn't last forever. Nice. We hope you're back to work soon, but thank you very much for the kind donation. Yeah, we love it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you can make a super chat donation anytime you want. Just click the $sign down there and magic happens. And we can't do contact tracing, but we can somehow use Apple to send somebody $2 immediately. Yes, Eric Wolf.
I just remembered something. I'm blanking out here, but I cannot wait to go back to eat brunch at CityWorks.
Yeah, CityWorks.
The brunch is amazing.
Oh, that sounds good.
I haven't tried that.
I just want to sit.
We have our full review on that on the site. So if anyone hasn't seen like any of the food yet, so good brunch.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to like all of it and just soaking it in and just having a place to go and walk around. And I don't like being close to people anyway, but I like watching people. So I'll like having a, just a place to go we can go kill a few hours there. And, I like to duck into some of the shops every now and then, and I keep my distance anyway. Hopefully we're all safe and this keeps up and things keep getting better in Florida anyway. Well, everywhere, but Florida specifically when we're talking about this. So I look forward to it. I want to talk about something kind of serious that's related to this, which is things are starting to open up. People are starting to go. We have Disney parks on the planet that are now open and parks that will be opening soon. We don't know about here in Florida yet or in California. I mean, Los Angeles County, which Disneyland's in Orange County, but Los Angeles County has extended their stay-at-home order for like 3 months, like basically through the end of July. So who knows out there? Here we may get something sooner. We got some guidance. But what the part that applies to us, many of you know, we will be ceasing or winding down WDWNT live programming, of which this show is a part. So shows like Party with Pete, Locked In with Eric Morton, The Wolf Den, and some of the others. I don't know. Chris, does that include you? Are we still doing Cosmic Read?
Not from what I heard the other day. They were going to keep doing it, but yeah. I think we're still going. Yeah. So
anyway, the last show for Locked In with Eric Morton will be next Saturday. So we're going to look at it as a celebration. Allison has already reached out and scored a nice guest for us that we will have. That will be a nice surprise. Patrick Brock for $2. He lives next door to American Dream. Can we discuss? Let's hear it. American Dream. What is American Dream? I don't even know.
What is American Dream? Is it a store?
I wouldn't know.
Do you live next to the American Dream? Are you Canadian? I'm confused.
He said, how horrible the idea to open one. I don't know. Oh, Nickelodeon universe.
I live next door to the American Dream.
Oh, yeah. So maybe you guys, yeah. Speaking of which, I have a friend who lives next door to whose brother lives next door to America. And when I say next door to America, I mean his friend lives in Canada and his next door neighbors live in the United States. Like
right on the border.
The border literally goes through is the edge of his yard.
Oh yeah.
So I want to do that.
I'm pretty close to the border. We're like an hour away from like North Dakota. Yeah, we're right there too.
Oh wow.
Oh, so Patrick said that American Dream is a theme park mall outside of New York City. They opened that?
Oh.
I'm gonna look this up.
That doesn't sound like a good idea in New York.
One
it's in Meadowlands?
It's Nickelodeon themed.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, but it sounds like if they're opening it, that doesn't sound like a great idea to me right now, considering the situation in New York and New Jersey.
Oh, that place.
Closed. Yeah. Oh, it's going to bomb. Yeah. So it's new. It closed a week after the water park opened. So
I think that's a horrible idea.
Yeah, and bad timing on their part for opening and all this kind of stuff. Is that like interactive? It's Nickelodeon. Can you go there and just like say I don't know and get slimed? That would be pretty fun. I want to get slimed.
No, it's like a whole theme park.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's an indoor thing, right?
Oh, it's next to MetLife Stadium.
Park.
Okay. It was called Xanadu before. Not to be confused with Lee's favorite movie, Xanadu, starring Olivia Newton-John, which I get to hear the soundtrack for anytime she's in a super good mood. So it's a bunch of copycat rides with Nickelodeon names, is what Courtney says. So, anyway, just back to what we were talking about. And thank you again for the donation. And if you have more information to share, we could talk bad about American Dream all we want. I don't know anything about it though. But anyway, we will be next week will be my last show. And so the final kind of recap of everything is the Friday. So the day before what would be my show in 2 weeks is actually the last show. And I think Tom will recap and kind of go over things that people liked and things that people didn't like, and maybe a good moment. I don't really know what he has planned, but he's going to do some kind of final show, like a salute to all of the people who have been volunteering their time to put these episodes out and try to have a good time with you guys while we're all kind of in this weird, creepy situation of not being able to go anywhere. Yes, Chris Reed.
But you did make it to double digits then as of next week, right?
Yeah.
This is show number 9.
To 10.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is show number
like you had that
10.
video for 8. You did 10. Yeah. 10.
Well, I suspect all the viewers will be sending in their congratulations videos so we can make another montage for them.
Yeah. That'd be great.
No, so please don't. I don't have the time to edit anymore. I might like throw one more video together that we have been talking about for a while. That we'll see if people like it or not. I don't know. We'll do something. But we appreciate you guys so far. 9 weeks that you've joined us, and next week will be a celebration. We've had a good time. I know that there's been discussion of maybe, hey, we could try to take these shows that people like and sprinkle them in every now and then occasionally, or combine some of them occasionally, or something like that. We'll see. We really don't know. It's all unknown. I mean, it's not sustainable for us to keep doing all of them all the time. Basically, we all have, our regular lives and jobs. And specific to me, I mean, Saturdays kind of when the parks are open and like it's easier to play golf and all this stuff. I don't know that I'm going to have the bandwidth to do it on a Saturday. I will say, and Eric, I don't know if this is the case for all of you, really. I don't know if this is the case for you guys, but I know when I get done with my show, I'm exhausted. Like talking for 3 hours and interacting, I'm exhausted. Like I take a nap after
2 hours.
I wake up early. Yeah. I will. I'll wake up. I'll wake up on a Saturday and try to throw something together. Hopefully throughout the week, I've made some notes of things I want to talk about and things we wanted to do. But on a Saturday, I'll wake up early. I do some prep. I make an outline. I know it looks like I just throw it together, and I kind of do, but wrangling all the people and organizing, and Kevin Lake, who is our producer behind the scenes, who's always technically got us set up and sending out the information to keep running this show. It's a large effort from everyone. So it's been really fun and it's been great. But I think, in general, I think everyone from staff to viewers to everyone is ready to get back to normal and kind of take a breath a little bit on things. So we love doing it, and we may do it again, but in terms of being a regular kind of Saturday morning slot, I don't see like a long-term future for that. Patrick, another $5. They charged $100 a day for a water park that was partially open and a theme park with 3 major rides not working. It's like Bob Chapek dreamed it up. $100 to like a second rate. Well, I guess if you're in New York City, I don't know what other theme parks they have to go to, right? Is there stuff? I mean, Allison, you're from New York. I don't know what's nearby. I don't know what people go do. I would have gone to Action Park if I lived there.
The closest
Action Park.
thing, I mean, there was some stuff in Jersey. Like I went to Keansburg. There's some stuff on the Jersey Shore area. There was, you had Six Flags Great Adventure, that's in Jersey. Coney Island in Brooklyn, obviously, but nothing like, I guess Six Flags is kind of the biggest one that
Great Adventure.
I would go to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's sad. It says it's the largest indoor water park in America. So, you know, I think people charge what they can get away with charging. You know what I mean? Yeah, if people come and they're paying their bills and they're tagging you for $100, they're not going to feel guilty about tagging you for it. And, it's unfortunate. There's I know that I've been to some indoor water. I'm not a water park guy. I don't like water parks, but I've been to some indoor water parks. They have that chain of hotels. What's it called? The Great Wolf Lodge that has all those indoor water parks that people go to. You know, I guess they put them in cold places most of the time, but $100 to go to an indoor water park that's partially open and there's an amusement park that has 3 rides. No thanks, I'm good. But it is New York, and everything in New York is very expensive. So I mean, you can't get a cocktail in Manhattan for like under $15. You know, why are you gonna expect to be able to go to a water park for?
Like I would come down to like when I still lived there. You know, I was used to kind of paying the sorts of prices for like going out to eat costs usually this much, or getting a drink would usually cost about this much. So we would go to Disney and I would eat at the table service restaurants. Like that was just normal prices to me. Like that's typical. I'd be like, Disney's so expensive. I'm like, I live in New York. It's pretty typical for me. So
I remember
it's not like
going there.
Outlandish.
I remember going there and it was like 20. It was like, now granted, I like to go to some places that there's good people watching. So if you're in Manhattan and you go to, let's say the Campbell apartment, which is attached to Grand Central Terminal, where there's like the old apartment that is a bar now. Yeah, I know I'm going to pay $22 for a bourbon there. Or if you're at Tavern on the Green, you know you're going to spend a lot of money, or some of these places. Yeah. But I remember we went up in One World Tower, or I think that's what's called, One World Observatory, down there in South Manhattan near the World Trade Center. And they said, I was like, wow, the drinks are only like $12 or $13 up here at the bar. That's a good deal. Now I had to pay $32 to get up there, but then once I got there, the drinks weren't that bad. Yeah, Patrick asked why Disney does not put mini water parks all over. I don't know. I think they stick with what they do. They try to do what they do best. It probably doesn't scale well, right? They have economies of scale when they're putting them all here while they have infrastructure and they own all the real estate already and stuff. It seems to be easier to scale something like a water park to just keep it here with the rest of them. Why go put one in Atlanta when you have all the workers and facilities and land here? I assume that's the issue. I don't know. It's easier to keep that Disney image when you have things like access to the college program workforce, where these people are trained very well and have that kind of passion for Disney. That may be a reason why. It would probably weaken their brand also if they sprinkled it all over the place. Why would my family travel to a Disney resort where we're going to go to a water park for one day of that trip? It might be a 5-day trip, when I could just go to the water park every weekend in, Stone Mountain, Georgia, or I don't know.
It didn't. It didn't work when they tried to
because money.
It didn't work when they tried to do Disney Quest either, and I think Disney Quest was in Chicago and some other place. And it just didn't work. Like the Disney brand just wasn't,
They can't even keep the Disney stores going strong with the same quality. So I don't know what it is. I think part of it is that sort of Disney's better when it's all in the same orbit. If it's all kind of in the same area and you can kind of keep that spirit alive throughout the whole property, as opposed to trying to transport somebody far away when you're putting it next to, I-75, something like that. I don't know. That's just my opinion, and my opinion is pretty worthless. Like I said, until we get to the Disney death matches coming up in a couple hours, or in an hour or so. So anyway, that's my take on it. I don't know. If you guys like the programming though, like things that you like, and don't just say, I mean, you can say, hey, I like Locked In, or I like The Wolf's Den, or I like Party with Pete, or I like Cosmic Read. But the specific things that you like, we might be able to take segments that are popular that people like and combine them into one show that works for everybody. So that might be a good idea. You can always email Tom. I don't know his email address. I assume it's like Tom at WDWNT.com, but I don't really know. You can email it to me, and I can I don't know. Maybe don't.
Yeah, we can forward it to them.
Email it, go on social media. The things, but I know we do surveys for WIGS members from time to time where people talk about things that they like, and Tom takes it very seriously. And I mean, the survey might be what killed the map game. I don't really know, but I know that people are like, look, this map game takes a long time. Yeah, so
yeah,
and I know hashtag save the map game. Just wait, I'll see that in the chat at some point today. Save the map game. But anyway. So I know people are a lot of you have already heard about this programming going away, and some people we've talked about it ad nauseum on other shows. I'm kind of the last show that people get, Patrick Brock again. He's still waiting to connect 4. He doesn't want to lose. I think he wants to. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. I don't know how you could do that. It's not that easy.
Can you just like double up the camera?
That's how you spend your unemployment check. You just try to get us to play Connect 4. I like it. That's probably something I would do. Save the map game. There we go. DD Studios. So
I can't wait to see
anyway,
what someone's gonna vote for on Disney Deathmatch.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, yeah, save your money for Disney Deathmatch. But we will. And I'm looking at bringing some people back that have been popular. I know I got several messages that people really liked when we had Jason, or as you know, Earl from the Trapped on Vacation podcast was on here. He was really great. Maybe try to get him back. I've talked to him already. It depends on when he can get his girls out of the house so that there's not a lot of screaming and running around while he's doing it. Hillary was very popular when we had her last week. She may show up for Deathmatch today. I don't really know. But we're going to keep plugging along. We usually stop sometime between 12 and 12:15 for a break, which we will do in just a few minutes. When we do come back in a little while, we're going to have Pete, and Pete can talk a little bit about his DJ gig yesterday, which was pretty cool. And Pete's been very involved in everything that's going on, and he has a show that is like ours, kind of on winding on the wind down phase. So we all love it. Save the map game, save the queso. Hey, I'm all about saving queso. That's important to me too.
Was it in trouble before now, or why
the queso? I don't know. Well, think about it.
Right?
With social distancing, queso could be communal. It's a thing a lot of people are reaching across the table and dipping their hands in. Maybe I don't know. I would say like where I ate last night, they didn't have salt and pepper on the table, and I had to. I'm at Yard House. It's a brewery, right? And they came out with the black cracked pepper and twisted it onto my dish for me because they couldn't put it. I was like, okay, slow down. We're not that fancy, Don't get Olive Garden fancy on me. Patrick again, so proud. Yeah, so proud of Pete not getting arrested during quarantine. He does drive like he's from Long Island. There's no doubt about it. I tried to follow him last night, and
we have to circle back to this one when he's on.
Yeah. Pete will be with us soon, Patrick. You can say that when he's on. He might be. I don't know. He's probably still asleep. But as far as we know, he has not been arrested. No, Pete's a good guy. I think Pete is the type probably that if he did get arrested, he could talk his way out of it. Next thing you know, he'd have the cops coming with him to jelly rolls.
Right.
That'll be the next thing. When is jelly roll? When the bars open, does jelly rolls open? Because there are social distancing issues even for the performers there. We talked about last week how stingers spit a lot. So who knows?
I'm curious when the boardwalk's going to open. They got some nice places on the boardwalk. Do some beaches and cream. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Who knows? All these places that people love that are in resorts may not open until the resorts open. Yeah, and the resorts may not open until their parks open. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we're a month out from that happening. I don't know. What, Disney stopped taking reservations through the end of June, right? So
yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't know. They're being cautious. As much as we know that they're dying to get some cash, they're being responsible and cautious. And I think how things work out at Disney Springs will be a big indicator for how things work moving forward. They probably got to come up with ways to social distance still. They're probably still working on that. It's not easy to rebuild your whole it's Patrick again. How much to get a shirt with 4 locked-in logos on? There are no shirts. We sell masks on Wikipedia, though. We do sell masks on Wikipedia, and those are selling really well. If you guys, if you have ideas for masks, send them to us. Yes. They're going really well. I know the most popular mask has been
Wikipedia.
I'm sorry, Wikipedia. T-Public, Wikipedia. You guys know what I meant.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm losing my mind in here. Yeah, so TeePublic. If you actually go to WDWNT.com and there's an like a banner for the mask, and click on those, because we get more money if you go there through that link than if you just go to TeePublic on its own. I don't know. I'm learning about e-commerce as I go. That's what I've heard.
Man,
so
if you guys want our
that's the way it
logos
works.
on masks, just tell
Put
Tom.
a locked in mask. That would be great. That's a great idea. Most of my mask ideas have been rejected.
What's the
Let's
most
be honest,
popular
we
one
just
you're
want
gonna
a
say?
butters mask.
Most popular is Spaceship Earth is the most popular. One of the most popular ones is the Tangled backdrop. We sold hundreds of those in like a day. We sold like 90 of them in like one day and whatever. So Spaceship Earth, last I knew, we sold a lot of those. People really like those. And I want to wear stuff that I love the masks, but I'm also thinking like, is this a mask I can wear somewhere besides walking around a Disney park? So things that are more subtle or whatever will probably hit the spot. I love the goat with dynamite in his mouth, but I don't know if I could wear that to like Publix. The goat with dynamite mask is one of my favorites. We have all these cast member costumes you guys can get. Spaceship Earth, the Instagram walls. Backlot vehicle mask. There's all kinds of cool stuff out there to get. So you need masks anyway. We don't manufacture the masks. Just so people know, we send design. The way TeePublic works is you send designs. TeePublic manufactures them, sells them, conducts the transaction, and gives you a cut. So I ordered some masks. I don't know where they are yet. What am I missing?
Kevin in the chat said probably wouldn't wear the goat one on a flight.
With the dynamite, yeah. Don't wear the goat with dynamite in his mouth on a flight. Courtney says, yes, Kevin, but it's the bomb. Hashtag save the mask game. Tom joked the other night that we've become a mask company. We're doing more in masks than we are in like web traffic. So yeah,
we're a bad mask company because we don't have a Butters mask yet.
There's no Butters. Butters mask could probably sell. Hey, Tyler and
right there,
Rob,
we have a little Butters right there on the logo.
Yeah, Butters mask. That wouldn't be too bad. They are going to do a mask with the dog with the keys in its mouth. So that's kind of like the Butters mask. They are working. If that hasn't been produced yet, it is in the works. I heard that one. So now comes the time of the show when we tell you about Wigs. Wigs is the WDW. Oh, wait, Patrick Brock with it. I can't just go straight to commercial when we have another super chat donation. Don't buy the masks. They have Colleen in a corner making them. They don't feed her. Hashtag save Colleen. Tom keeps her locked up in there. It's so sad. Hashtag save her. Yeah, a bee mask. Free the bee would be a good mask. We need the free the bee mask.
We need a bee mask.
Oh, Patrick's on fire today.
Are you taking a picture of the
Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah,
I'm sending this. I'm gonna send this to Colleen.
Oh, please do.
Oh, poor Colleen. She does, as I said in the. If you guys didn't watch the roast, my comment to Colleen was that she makes all the sets and she makes all this stuff, and but I thought she made the sock puppets, but actually it turns out the sock puppets are something that she stole from therapy that's required when you work with Tom side by side. Everything. It's probably true. Anyway. Let's go. Before we go into the commercial break, we talk about WIGS, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. That is our Patreon organization. We would very much appreciate if you became a WIGS member. It is as little as $2 a month. There's a lot of stuff that we are cranking out for the WIGS members right now. High resolution park maps and old school stuff. Tom's going to scan a bunch of stuff that we found that Lee had. I don't know if it'll go to WIGS or not, but Lee used to work World Key Information when she was in the college program. And all kinds of interesting stuff to see what the ticket prices were back then and the show schedules and the types of events that they had back in the 90s. It's kind of cool. Anyway, all the way back to the 70s, I think, or maybe even in the 50s with Disneyland, Jason has been doing high-res scans of stuff. I know they sent out the Epcot Center pictorial scans this week, which I actually have one of those. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, for as little as $2 a month, you can get that stuff. Feel free to join patreon.com/WDWNT. We'd love to have you. And also the super chat. Penguin Project also pointed out, I followed up the Colleen joke. I said the puppets also come in handy when young women are asked to point where Nick touched them, which I did say that too. So yeah, I forget. I was That was me as the leadoff man in the roast, not knowing how hard we were going in the paint and trying to find my way. So anyway, Super Chat donations, as you see, we've gotten several today. Super Chat donations are always welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, that's our primary place. We are streaming on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, like we said, ICQ, AOL, I don't know, but we're everywhere. But our primary interaction with you guys is watching the YouTube chat. Some people do monitor the Facebook chat. Facebook, we get a lot of views on Facebook, but we don't get a lot of live views on Facebook. So the interaction is really more on YouTube. Guys, we're looking forward to doing more with you in the second half of our show. So please hang out. Chris is going to be stepping aside.
I got to go.
Carney will allegedly be joining us. We may be joined by Hillary. We are not streaming on Wikipedia, Mandy. I do apologize for that. We're not streaming on Wikipedia or TeePublic or shopdisney.com. There was a major release today. If you guys didn't hear, go check it out during the commercial break. Kevin, take us to commercial. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining. We're watching Locked In with Eric Morton and friends.
Eric, congratulations on your 8th show. I never thought you'd make it this far. As a matter of fact, I lost a bet with your brother on the over-under. But if you make us feel better, Kay figures after 10 shows, you'll be an international star. Congratulations.
Eric, it's your mom. I just want to tell you how proud I am of you. I was always afraid you were going to be locked up, but now you're just locked in. Congratulations.
Hey, this is Mike. I really want to congratulate Eric on his huge milestone of his 8th show? Oh, am I getting paid for this, Eric?
Hey, Eric, checking in from Tampa, Florida. Wanted to congratulate you on your big milestone for Locked In. This is show number... What number is it? Wait a minute, you serious? Show number 8? Seriously, dude? Call me later.
Hi, Eric. It's your sister Hillary reporting from Kansas City, Missouri, and I just wanted to congratulate you on your 8th show. Wow, I can't believe it's been 8 shows already. Well, 8 is an important number. In Chinese, to pronounce the word 8, it almost sounds like the word prosper. If you turn the number 8 on its side, it's like the infinity symbol, and that's how long I'm gonna love you. Congrats on 8 episodes.
Hey, congratulations, Eric, on your work anniversary date with WDWNT. What?
Anniversary?
Yeah.
It's like his 8th show.
Oh. Well, congrats anyway, I guess.
Wow. When you first were getting this show, I was a little apprehensive, didn't know how you would do, but 8 later, and you are totally, totally killing it. Everyone adores you. You're doing a phenomenal job. Congrats on your 8th show, Butters.
Hi, my name is Brett. I live in New Jersey, and I just wanted to say, Hi, congratulations, Eric Motrin, on your show that has gone on for a whole 8 weeks. 8 weeks? Weeks? Is that right? My haircut is older than 8 weeks. Okay, well, yeah, great. Congratulations.
Hey there, Eric. It's Earl from the Trapped on Vacation podcast. As someone who's been making mediocre theme park content since 2005, let me be the first one, or 5th one, whatever order you're playing me in this thing, to congratulate you on your 8th episode. That is 2 straight months of waking up on a Saturday morning and day drinking. Congrats, man. Keep it up.
Hey, thanks for being such a great test crew. Come back and ride anytime. Bye now.
Hey, Erky, it's me, Andy, your brother in Kansas. Congratulations on getting to your 8th show. I don't know who you had to sleep with to get your own show, but aim higher. Later, dude.
I have no idea what show you're talking about. How did you get into my house?
Nearly everyone loves Italian food, but those people who love a true, authentic Italian come to me at a Tony's Town Square Cafe. I, Tony Ragu, have been offering home-cooked food from the province of Toledo here at the Magic Kingdom for almost 30 years. If you're trapped inside in a quarantine, why not take a night off from cooking and order from us? We now offer takeout and delivery options. I never thought working a microwave would be considered an essential business during a global crisis, but what are you gonna do, eh? All of Tony's favorites are available. The chicken parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, empanadas, the canine crunchies, you name it. Now there's some things you need to know. Postmates is going to tell you that you can order from our theme park location, but you actually got to come to my warehouse on an Orange Blossom Trail. If you go to the Magic Kingdom, the cops, they're going to stop you. It's okay if they do, though. Just drop on my cousin Vinny's name, Vincenzo Ragu, and they're going to let you through. He's a judge up in Westchester. They know who he is. If you choose a pickup, the food is going to be put in your trunk just to make sure you move any baseball bats, cement blocks, bowling bags, so we can lay the food flat. The food is going to be frozen, so don't worry about it getting cold on the way home. So I have what the Uber Eats app is calling Italian food, Tony's Town Square, now available for delivery or pickup. It usually tastes like it's from the road. Now it's made to travel on it. Mangiare!
Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Sometimes we mute, and that's a common thing you'll see on these shows. During the break, Brian Sutton, $8 super chat donation. Thank you very much. We really appreciate all the support. And then I saw people say that they are from Kansas City. So hi, Karen. I'm from Lawrence. Well, that's where I grew up. I went to high school down here, but my family is still up there, except my dad's down. I don't know. It's complicated. I consider myself to be from Lawrence, Kansas. So yay, Kansas City, go Chiefs, go Royals, all that stuff. Good to have you guys here. Didn't mean to touch on a sensitive topic with the Nick jokes. I did go out of my way, by the way, when writing a Nick joke to say young women, not children. I agree that joking about something with children is not funny. The joke with Nick originated just that he dates women who are a lot younger than him. So anyway, apologize. I know that that's a sensitive topic, so please forgive me if it came across insensitive. We are back. We're entering. Was there another super chat? Did I miss another super chat? Are you just making me $5? Who gave $5?
Robbie.
I got to scroll down in the chat. I don't even see it. You know, I use like a junker computer for this. For butter, $5 for Butters. Butters, you're getting treats. I don't know, maybe. So that's great. Actually, there's been an issue with Butters lately. If you guys know, if anybody's the veterinarian or is familiar with this, I'm sure there's not. Yeah. If you guys know, if anybody's the veterinarian or is familiar with this.
Oh, you're frozen.
Listening back.
Oh.
Who's listening back?
Maybe Butters wasn't liking what he was going to say.
Butters took control.
I think that's it.
Butters don't like it.
I don't like this.
I don't like this. Is that right?
Am I too close? I don't like confrontations.
Pete's here. Hello, Pete and Hillary.
Hi.
Hello.
I made it. I'm so tired. But I'm here.
Is it from partying hard last night?
We party during the day, but I run a poker game on Friday and Saturday nights that doesn't end till 3:30 or 4 in the morning. So I usually go to bed around 4 or 5.
Hey guys.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway,
I'm back.
Hey, he's back.
And now we have Pete and Hillary. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I think I was thanking someone for a super chat donation.
You were just making jokes about young children.
Oh yeah, I did do that.
No.
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I specifically do not do that. I do not bring children into it. Anyway, hi Hillary. Hi Pete. It's good to see you guys. How is social distancing going for people in Kansas City, Missouri, Hillary? Live from her loft in downtown Casey.
I'm not going to lie. A couple of my friends came over and we drank wine in the courtyard yesterday. Clearly some bars opened up last night and I had to call the police on people who were being too loud. Yes, I was clutching in the process.
Wait. We have a super sticker. Is that what it's called? The super sticker from Shorn Force?
Oh, yeah.
$1.49 and $1.99 from Patrick Brock. So thank you, Patrick.
Sticker.
Yeah, cute sticker. Thanks, guys. Tyler, man, I see Tyler's in the chat. Tyler we have that empty window. If we get to deathmatch and Tyler's still around, we have that empty window below Hillary where Tyler can jump in and this would be a good one to have 6 panelists on. I've kind of teased it. Yes, he's the Canadian.
Tyler from Toronto. Bring it.
That's correct. So
not American.
So I lost my train of thought. But anyway, you had to call the cops on some people for being loud. That sucks. I'm sorry.
So Kansas City is kind of opening up. I went to a restaurant to grab some food yesterday, and there were people sitting at tables. So yesterday was the first day for Casey, but I'm not going out.
Yeah, I remember what I was talking about. I don't know how much you guys heard about Butters licking her paw.
Oh,
she's licking her paw a lot. And so like we looked at her paw and on the bottom, like she kind of licked some of the hair off and it was like red and like, I wouldn't say it's bleeding, but it'd be like if you held like a white linen up to her or something, you might get a little like blood. I don't know. It's not dripping blood or anything, but I don't know. So we put some stuff on there. I don't know what to do about a dog that's licking its paws. We gave her something else to lick. So we gave her a ball full of peanut butter and that seemed to do the trick, but I don't want her to put on 50 pounds. So I can't just give her peanut butter all day. I got to figure out what this problem is.
It's probably allergies.
Yeah. Like Courtney said, possibly to grass. They could put some insecticide like in the grass when she's taking a walk and she doesn't, or something like that. We'll see. Anyway, we'll keep you guys updated. I know there's nothing more important to the viewers than the health of Butters. So there we go. And then we talked about a little bit, Pete. We showed a clip of you doing your DJ work last night. I don't know what you're.
You showed a clip. That's cool. What clip? The one you guys just shot when you guys were there hanging out?
Yeah, it's one that I shot. Probably the lowest quality one you can find because I'm the one that doesn't have the iPhone 11 with all this spectacular video. We already talked about. Allison has a new iPhone 11. I don't know. I have like an iPhone. I have iPhone 8. Oh yeah, look at you guys. I see those extra cameras and all this. Oh god.
Android.
Android. Oh god. Yeah. It's okay. We accept all people here. Android people, iPhone. We can all get along. I was an Android push for a long time. There's still stuff I miss about Android. So Android, we love you all. Android, Apple. Just know that I have the worst phone of the bunch. So, but it still takes pretty good video, I think. It takes good pictures, I think. No, maybe not. So, Pete.
Allison has a phone, so you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pete, talk to us a little bit about the DJing last night, because I showed a video, but that was really cool. What kind of feedback did you get? I heard you got one complaint.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. No, I have a Palm Trio.
Nice. That's awesome.
Don't make me get my Palm Trio out or my old Nextel push to talk.
No, it was awesome. I did it. So I think everyone kind of knows if you're a fan of the show is I did a balcony dance party in the beginning of the quarantine to kind of get people's spirits up. And I asked my complex if they wanted me to do it. They never got back to me. So I kind of just flyered the entire place and did it on my own. That was about 5 weeks ago. So then that went really well. So they said, hey, we want to just organize one for real. So yesterday was that day. They put me out on our sun deck in our pool area, and our place is like a giant circle, so it kind of hits almost all of the homes. And we did a dance party for 2 hours yesterday. Eric was there. Sean Kloss, our social media guy, was there. Some friends that I've made here in the complex came by. My buddy Josh from Tractions Tube stopped by. So it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We were dancing, having a great time, and then we all went out to dinner, which was great. And then, and I came home and
I couldn't believe how many people were dancing.
Me too. I was really happy about that. I was happy how many
cast members were with no shirt on. There's a dude with no shirt on and shorts. That dude was getting it. What
I
happened?
can't believe you guys out of retirement, and the whole MTV crew and all the girls in the bright bikinis. Wasn't that?
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that.
MTV Beach House. I actually went. I used to go to the. I went to the MTV Beach House when it was in the Hamptons. Like when I got to meet Paul Walker, Carson Daly, Rihanna. And some of those people are relevant. Some of them are alive. But yeah. But it was an awesome time. We had a really good time. I know I did. It was really nice for you guys to come. Like I said, we got to see a bunch of cast members, which was nice because I know cast members live here, but I don't always get to see all of them. And I'm not a weirdo that just like knocks on doors. I mean, I probably would be that person, but I try not to be. So when I played some like Disney mixes, it was nice to see everyone dancing. I was like, where's my CMs at? And then we finished with Happily Ever After, which everyone liked. Nice. And packed it up and went to dinner.
It was really great. And Pete has the largest storage area I've ever seen for his DJ equipment. His storage area is literally over 1,000 square feet of air-conditioned indoor storage at his apartment complex. It's the biggest. I can't even.
The highlight of living here. Yeah.
We have a garage that we use for storage, and your storage area is like 4 garages.
It's not that big, but it gets the job done. It's actually because they messed up. I was supposed to have a garage. And they miscalculated. There was no garages in my building. So we worked out a nice deal where they gave me a very big storage unit, which is nice.
Yeah, it's crazy big. People have asked in the past, they ask what I'm drinking from time to time. We go over that. It's been as embarrassing as like Coronas. It's been beer or, Michelob Ultra or vodka with lemon with Crystal Light. We do it all here because what are you going to do? You're locked in. I was given a gift of this bottle of bourbon last week by a friend of mine. It's called Joseph Magnus. You see on the bottle, Joseph Magnus.
It looks fancy.
It has, it's fancy because it has, if you look right here, it has like an addition, like, how many of how many written on it. Wait, look, you got to get really close. It's bottle 325 of 892 bottles. See, there you go, Pete. There you go. It's right there.
Oh, I see.
Now I see it. Now I see it.
Yeah, so it's some kind of special edition stuff. I Googled it. Some places it was expensive, some places not, but everybody thinks it's good. It's like, it says it is straight bourbon whiskey finished in sherry and cognac casks. So that, to me, would say it's similar. If you've had Angel's Envy, that's what they do. They finish it in sherry casks. So this might have a little bit of that note to it. I'm going to crack it open just for you guys. The things I do for the audience, just to keep you up to speed on what's going on in the alcohol world. And we'll do. Yeah, I do put a lot of ice with my bourbon. I know a lot of people want one of those fancy, like one giant ice cube or no ice or whatever. I do a few ice cubes. We have it. Here's my. It's a Purdue glass. Lee graduated from Purdue, so that's what we have. Go Boilermakers.
Yeah.
And I'll take a sip and let you guys know.
A cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
I'm drinking water.
Good stuff. I really like it. I like it. Try this stuff. It pretty smooth with just a little burn. When you have that, you can taste that kind of sherry in there somewhere deep down. I don't know. I'm not. If you've come for like really brilliant analysis on spirits and bourbon, I'm like, it's pretty good. Give it a shot. Hillary knows we don't discriminate here. What'd you say?
I said, who sings that song?
Will you come out tonight? Come.
He's not gonna walk into that line, Hillary. You can't do that to Pete.
Is it?
It's Pete Carney.
Are they from New Jersey?
It is now.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jersey Boys.
Okay.
It's Frankie
Valley
and the Four.
Yeah, Frankie Valley, the Four Seasons.
Yeah, let's keep it that way.
Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away. Don't do that.
All right, fine. Here's another verse.
Oh boy. So Eric Wolf, what you were starting to say something? What's up?
No. I was telling Pete that I listened to that song yesterday. I was listening to the Jersey Boys musical soundtrack yesterday.
Great musical.
Yeah, Michael, it's not the Temptations, it's the Four Seasons, right? A Penguin Project said, "Go off, Hillary." Hillary will go off. You don't get her started; it'll get crazy. So anyway, we've been talking about social distancing and things that are opening and all this kind of stuff. I made an error last week, and I want to apologize to viewers and the panel. I didn't know that Disney Deathmatch was going to go on for so long last week, and instead of us being done at 2, we were done at 2:48. And
PM.
So I had people having to, PM. So I had people having to dip out and miss the last vote. And Pete had, someone showing up that was going to.
I had food being delivered.
Yeah, food being delivered. It was a poorly run show by me, and I apologize.
Nah, you were doing just a little something extra for everybody.
It was a good show.
You're a kind man.
That bonus content you're accustomed to, the free post. We're the show with the free post show.
We always
start on time-ish, so I know I saw people going, "Hey, it looks like we're always pretty on time on this show." I'm proud of that. We at least start the little graphics with the music on time usually, and usually we're on within a couple minutes. Not like some of these shows that make you wait for 10 or 12 minutes, guys. Come on. We don't want to tolerate
Terrible.
Yeah. So without further ado, I don't see any problem with starting the Disney death matches now to ensure that we complete the show on time today. So Kevin, why don't you hit it? Disney death match.
Yeah.
I will tell you, there's some tough ones. There's some obvious death matches. People have suggested, many people suggested one of the matches we have today just because it's an obvious one. And there's a very difficult one towards the end. And next week, I promise you, we will make the most challenging, gut-wrenching Disney death matches ever because it is our final show. We're going to go out with a bang. So there could be only one.
Walt Disney or Roy Disney. One must
you
go.
Pick one. You gotta Mickey Mouse or Woody Woodpecker. Wait, wrong franchise. So yeah, Elizabeth says this is her second favorite part of the show. The first favorite part is Butters. I promise we'll get Butters back on here before we go off the air. Is on the air even like a real thing anymore? I mean, we're not really on the air. That used to be when you would like broadcast things over the air. I guess we're over the wire. You're Wi-Fi. If you're Wi-Fi, it's on the air. Yeah. So
I have an applause sign even though no one's here.
Yeah.
Applause.
So Joseph Magnus, this is my second. I've let it sit for a second. Smells like bourbon. I do smell sherry or something. Flowers. I don't know. Still good. Okay. So here's how Disney Deathmatch works. We are going to show you what the matchup is. There are going to be Disney attraction. It can be a Disney attraction. It could be a Disney hotel. It could be a Disney song, whatever. Something related to Disney World, generally speaking. Sometimes we might bring in other parks, other resorts. And the panelists will discuss this. We'll go around once to discuss it. Then we'll vote on it. Only one survives. We kill the other things on there. They're gone. This is like if you're stuck on a desert island, you could only pick one. You got to get rid of it. Bob Chapek has told us we got to get rid of these things, and there could be only one. We will then, after our discussion, we will vote. Each panelist vote is worth 2 points. Each viewer vote, when we kick voting later to the viewers, Eric Wolf will manage that voting. Your viewer votes will count as 1 point. And then any super chat donation that you make, if you type in what your vote is, it will count for however many dollars that super chat donation is worth. So if you want to donate $2 or $3, or you want to give $3, that counts as 3 points towards the vote. So without further ado, let's kick it off with our first Disney death match of the week.
That's the best. I love that one.
Oh, we got frozen desserts. Frozen desserts. We have the Dole Whip versus the
Watch me
Mickey
whip,
bar
whip.
versus the Citrus Swirl. So I know you can get the Dole Whip and the Citrus Swirl in the same place. But, you know, that's because some people don't like the pineapple. They might get the Citrus Swirl. I prefer the Citrus Swirl. But we're going to get deep into this. Dole Whip versus Mickey Bar versus Citrus Swirl. There can be only one. Let's kick off the conversation first. Let's talk to Hillary Morton. I know, Hillary, you've had all this stuff.
I've had all this stuff. One of them is a clear front runner for me. Florida is hot, okay? It's hot there. It's humid.
Facts.
And I like to have like a dessert that I can eat and drink at the same time. I think that's a huge payoff. I did go to the grocery store the other day and they had Mickey Mouse chocolate ice cream ears. I don't know if they're still the same or not. I didn't get them. Should I? Anyone? Okay, no. It's not the same.
I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't get them, but they're not the same. But you make your own life choices.
And they recently moved where you get the Dole Whip. It's in a different spot.
Yeah, it used to only be in one spot too, and now they have like the Dole Whip, and then you can also like it over at Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace. You can get like the spiked Dole Whip. I think you can also get that at another bar at the Polynesian. That's the one with booze in it. But in the parks, no booze. It's just a Dole Whip. So, and they used to say that there was only two places you could get them, right? They used to say you can only get this at Disney and at the Dole Pineapple Plantation in Hawaii. And now you can get them freaking everywhere. So, you know, I don't know if that was just them lying to us or what. But anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And you guys have Hawaiian Brothers down there, like a fast food chain? Hawaiian Brothers? We got one a couple of years ago.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's
Hawaiian Brothers?
Yeah. You get like chicken on rice and macaroni salad and you get a Dole Whip. This is a no-brainer for me. We don't even have to. This is cute. Thanks for talking.
Yeah, I know people feel strongly
we have
about
King's
this.
Hawaiian buns. I don't know if that's what you're thinking of, but King's Hawaiian buns are the best buns there are.
I am the member of this household that really loves those, and there's a member of this household that really does not like those.
What?
So,
Who's right and who's wrong?
Me. So anyway, so Hillary, that's your take on things. Eric Wolf, let's hear from you. We're going to go clockwise on this matchup.
So, I haven't had all three of these. I'm allergic to pineapples, so I can't have one. But like Hillary, one is a front runner for me. One for sure. Just I know what I'm going to vote for. I know it. The other two, sorry, there's no competition here for me. There's just not.
Pete Kearney.
All right. Since we're just giving thoughts, I'm going to try and make an argument for everything here. Let's just talk. I mean, you guys are going to talk flavor and how tasty, but I'm thinking let's talk use of hands. I mean, two of these items, you have to use two hands most of the time. You have to hold and then spoon in the other hand, which doesn't allow for other devices or doing other activities like looking at a park map or wait times.
Like you need a
the
park
Mickey
map.
bar, you can hold in one hand. However, I don't like a sticky hand, and I find that a Mickey bar can create a sticky hand. Also, I don't like those things. So
they freeze those things hard. They freeze those things
They
hardcore.
do,
So you
but
bite into a
this is
Mickey
still
bar, you get like
Florida.
a glass shard sticking out of it of chocolate.
Yeah, they do freeze pretty hard. Watch out for the glass shards. I don't know if they want that as part of their marketing, but the Mickey bar does not last too long. I will say they freeze it hard, but by the time you get from Adventureland to Frontierland, that thing is already on its way down the stick, melting pretty quickly. You got to eat that thing aggressively or have a team plan. Yeah, these are classics. You see T-shirts for Dole Whips. You see T-shirts for Mickey bars. Not so many T-shirts for Citrus Swirls, but I'm sure they'll be coming around one day. So we'll see what happens.
I think if you could eat a Dole Whip or Citrus Swirl with one hand, but you would probably be asked to leave the park if you made eye contact with anyone while you were doing it.
Keep your eyes focused on the ground, and also would be very messy. You'd have you'd have a Citrus Swirl or a Dole Whip mouth. Then you have to use your other hand to wipe it. You got a sticky hand, then you have to hold napkins. It's it's tough to think about. I don't like a messy hand.
Yeah, Patrick Brock still wants to wait on 4 Erics to cover Pete. I don't know if we have the layout ability to do that. He just really wants to make Connect 4, just so I can say pretty sneaky sis, I think. I don't like this, says Penguin Project.
I like this.
That's a classic clip. Allison, let's hear it.
Okay. I feel like the Mickey bar is super classic. I feel like if you got rid of that, it would be you're kind of almost getting rid of an iconic snack. Very tasty, classic, very enjoyable. Also, you can enjoy with the one hand. The Citrus Swirl has kind of gone up quite a bit in popularity.
Yeah, it's an up-and-comer.
It is, yeah. It's kind of the line for that has started to get, pretty long over there because they switched Aloha Isle. So now that's the other area is starting to get kind of long. It has
Sunshine Tree Terrace. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Orange Bird made a comeback too. He was out of the public eye for a long time, and now Orange Bird is bringing it strong the last few years.
Yes.
Good point.
It's a little tart. It's definitely the least sweet out of all of them. I'm personally not a huge fan of it being very tart. I have to kind of be in the mood for that. With the Dole Whip, also kind of now is a classic snack. Very refreshing. I feel that if you're going to be kind of baking in the Florida heat, some sort of fruit dessert is going to be a little bit more cooling and more refreshing than something that has a lot of dairy in it for yourself. Now, a question for this matchup. Are we talking just the classic pineapple Dole Whip, or are we also putting in there the other Dole Whip variations with like the raspberry?
Well, I would say that they will be removing all pineapple flavoring from the parks and resorts, so you don't get any pineapple if you get rid of the Dole Whip. No pineapple ice
If you're
cream.
getting rid of the Dole Whip, you have to get rid of the variations because it's the Dole Whip. We should just say, come on. You're getting rid of all the Citrus Swirls, all the whips, or all the ice cream bars. Let's get focused.
Yes,
Patrick gave $2. Thank you, Patrick. Another super chat donation. Allison is my dream girl for detailed explanation.
Same.
That's why she's here for the hard-hitting deep dive into these things. I love it.
For the snacks. I'm here for that.
I like it.
The other thing with the Dole Whip is that technically a lot of other places it's not Dole Whip. It is
just a pineapple whip.
Soft serve because Dole Whip is a brand. So you could get pineapple soft serve in a lot of other places, but not necessarily specifically Dole.
That's like when I was a kid and I bought Gachi sweatshirts instead of Gucci sweatshirts.
Or like when I was a kid, they had the Benetton rugby shirts were in style, and then all of a sudden you could get a Coca-La rugby shirt, which is still like a brand people know. That's like JCPenney level, and then you got dropped down to like Pepsi rugby shirts, and that was like a step below. You gotta had to stay on top of the rugby shirts, but you always had to wear like a couple swatches on your wrist, right? When one swatch was never enough, you gotta make sure. What if the battery dies and you get the wrong time? You gotta have 2 swatches. Everybody knows that. And then you got to get the acid wash jeans and you roll them like a peg because that's what we do. So I'm dating myself. Go class of 98.
A weird turn.
So RC Cola rugby shirt for life, says Short Force. Wow. The
RC Cola shirt.
You have to go to the convenience store to get that one.
The RC Black Cherry and the purple drink. Oh, those are so good. From the bodega up the corner. Oh, man. Just sugar in it. Oh, so good.
Actually, I think the RC Cola out of all of them, if you brought it back today, that would be give you the most like retro vintage cred. The RC Cola.
I think they're still around. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Is Benetton still around?
Speaking of which, complete sidetrack. I just went to a Total Wine for the first time in my life. This week.
It's amazing.
What? How have I never been there? Yeah. Probably a good thing. But I haven't seen Bartles and James wine coolers, I think, since I was a kid and my mom was drinking them. And I saw them at Total Wine. Wow, what a throwback to my childhood. Bartles and James.
The BJs. Tyler asked if anybody remembers Chubby Cola. I do not, but it reminds me of something. I do remember Jolt Cola, which was like the super caffeinated, like caffeine bomb. Like it's probably nothing compared to like the energy drinks we have now, like a Monster or.
When I was a kid, Surge came out. We loved Surge. We used to drink Surge and jump off roofs. Yeah, we were nuts.
Yeah, I don't know Chubby Cola. I know Chewy the merchandise bird on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I was going to say that they're going to actually change that to Chubby Cola.
Chubby Cola.
When I dropped my first rap album, they called me Chubby Cola.
Drop that into graphics.
No, so for those that don't know, because I did some research, Hillary, like you haven't been on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, the new ride that replaced the Great Movie Ride, but they had this bird and they were going to name it Chubby the Bird. And then they spelled it wrong, and as Chubby, like Chuuby, and they're like, screw it, we'll just name him Chubby. And there's supposed to be a story around him, and there isn't. So we started, Tom, I think, started this calling him Chubby the Merchandise Bird, because all it is to sell like little Chubby plush animals, I guess.
Did you see what Patrick just wrote on the super chat?
LeFou's brew for the win.
Brew for the win.
Also
I'm single obese winky face. If this was a Tinder profile, I would totally be in. I'd be like, tell me more.
That was one of my submissions for like the worst Disney mask with the LeFou mouth. So now I think we should actually sell the LeFou mask. I came up with that as like the funny rejected Disney mask. But I want the LeFou mask, and my other one that I suggested was the Gondola ad. I kind of want the Gondola ad too. So
that'd be so good.
All right, so we've talked about all the janky colas that we can think of.
I really want them to do the flat and the curve one. Did we talk about the flat and the curve one, which is the best one? The Eiffel Tower tilted and it says flat.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower with the angle on it from soaring around the world. It's too funny.
Oh, man.
So I will say, normally I blame these matchups on Bob Chapek. He's told us to cut one, but I was the one that had to put these three. I had to put three of them together to be cut. So I apologize ahead of time. But originally I was going to do like, are we going to do a Dole Whip versus a turkey leg versus a churro? That could have been a good matchup that we could have had, right? Because a lot of T-shirts have that. But I think the Dole Whip would have ran away with that, because as much as the turkey leg is like an iconic part of, like, it's hard to even find them now. They like last time I tried to buy one, they're like, go across the walkway into the restaurant and ask for one, because we don't have it in the cart. The churros at Walt Disney World are not as good as the churros like in California. So anyway, that could have been a cool matchup. Like I said, I don't like the weird shards when you bite into a Mickey bar. So like this giant shard of chocolate just sticks off and it's like they're super frozen. I wish I could freeze something as frozen as they freeze those. I don't like pineapple that much. And I really love the Citrus Swirl. So but the Mickey bars are good too. It's gonna be a tough matchup. We're about to kick off the voting for the panel. We already know how Hillary's going to vote. So why don't you kick us off, Hank?
Well, since both Erics hate Hawaii, I'm going to vote for the Dole Whip. And also,
2 points.
when I'm going to Disney World, I need to be healthy, so I have to get the fruit Dole Whip.
Oh, yeah, the fruit Dole Whip. Okay, yeah, we appreciate you being healthy and supporting the people of Hawaii that Eric and I apparently hate, because I like King's Hawaiian. That's good.
Yeah, I like King's Hawaiian too.
But hot take for some of you.
I like
there's no greater abomination than somebody that puts pineapple on a pizza. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Same, Eric. Same.
Hot take. I know.
Wow.
People know I'm opinionated, right? I on News Tonight this week, Tom called me a monster because I punished the whole Winnie the Pooh like area background
the nicest
music
thing he's ever
for
said
the
to
fact
me.
that I don't like Winnie the Pooh, right? So he called me I'm the monster now. They call me a monster. No, we do not hate Hawaii. I just don't like pineapple. Look, it's really hard to eat. You shouldn't eat pineapple. Look at what nature has done to pineapples. It's protected them with spiked armor to keep you from eating it. Nature does not want you to eat these things.
It's so
You can reach in here. It's okay. What?
There are two different citrus swirls.
Oh, Lee pointed out there's two different citrus swirls. What we already went through that. So if you get rid of the Citrus Swirl, you get rid of all of them. If you get rid of the Dole Whip, you get rid of all of them. Sorry. Eric Wolf, what's your vote?
So Yeah, pineapple Dole Whip, can't eat it. That's out of my list. Mickey bar. I'm sorry, but I can go to Publix and buy this. Like I don't care. I can go to Publix. Bar. I can go to I'm good.
You may not be able to. You may not be able to freeze it as hard as they can freeze it at Disney and their like crazy chamber.
I don't care about that.
Which is probably why those conspiracy theories started that Walt's head is frozen, because they're like, Disney can freeze the hell out of stuff.
Anyway, freeze anything.
Yeah,
but I'm going Citrus Swirl.
Citrus Swirl.
Citrus Swirl.
We're 2-2 so far. Pete, what do you say?
My choice, I, unlike you, am a pineapple fan. I love pineapples.
Look at you guys and your
Did you get
pineapples.
That school lunch tray?
Listen, Dole Whip, even if I have to have it without alcohol, it's still delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There was something cool about having my first Dole Whip in the park. Something I'll always remember, and I think that plays a role into this as well, a little nostalgia. And also the Mickey ice cream bar, as good as it may be, it's too sticky and too messy for me. I don't want to. You have to eat it at a certain amount of time, or it falls off the stick. Mm-hmm. Worst case, a Dole Whip just turns into like mush and like a little soup. You could drink it, you could whatever, but it's just too much work, the Mickey bar, to eat it in time, and I feel rushed, and I just want to enjoy my day in the park. So I'm going nostalgia in the little cup.
Yeah.
Well, like if this was a Dole Whip, let's say the Dole Whip was coming out of the top. It was just Dole Whip through the cup.
Yeah.
The Dole Whip. I thought you said the Mickey bar. I was like, what?
No. The Dole Whip. The Dole Whip.
Shortforce said Eric hates things that start with P, poo, and pineapple. Don't forget Pete. Not Pete. I don't hate Pete. So, anyway, we move on. That's a 4-2 lead over the Citrus Swirl for the Dole Whip so far. Allison, what do you say?
Vote is for pineapple Dole Whip and all of its many delicious varieties.
It looks like a shutout against Mickey bars right now.
You need something to eat while waiting in that long line for the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Citrus Swirl.
You need something to eat in line for the Jungle Cruise. It's right there. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Good vote.
But there is a long line to buy the Citrus Swirl, and there's no fast passes that I know of for that. So I don't know if I'm going to wait in that line.
I could try mobile ordering, but it doesn't work out all the time for a mobile order for the Aloha aisle.
Uh-oh.
Well, we have a super chat from Patrick. He said, I'm 31, single, definitely fat, losing weight, cute face, good eyes, beard. I love theme parks, traveling, great cook, funny sometimes, 6'2", and LeFou's Brew wins. So, ladies, we found your man. If you like LeFou's Brew, if you like a larger man with LeFou's Brew, I mean, 6'2", I wish I was 6'2". That's pretty good. You got that going for you. So, thanks, Patrick. Yeah, Patrick is bringing heat.
I like that he
today.
clarified that he was death fat, like as if someone questioned it, like, dude, you're not fat, come on, and he's like, no, I'm
deaf fat. Look, we've all put on our COVID-19 pounds.
I have put on a COVID 34.
Yeah. Okay, it's no surprise. I don't like the shards of glass on the Mickey bar, and I don't like I don't like pineapple. I love the Citrus Swirl. I think the Citrus Swirl is amazing. And you can make drinks that taste like a Citrus Swirl. Lee does that a lot with like the Pinnacle vodka and like the orange flavored drink. I don't know. I go with Citrus Swirl. So that brings us to 6-4 lead for the Dole Whip. Nothing for the Mickey bar. In a minute, Eric Wolf is going to open the voting. He has like a blue wrench next to his name in the chat. So between the blue wrench, basically he'll say go. Give it a few minutes. We'll give you, I don't know, a minute. We always just kind of talk while you're voting, and it's pretty clear when the voting is over. And Eric will do another wrench, and everything in between that is the votes. Please only vote once. And keep in mind, we will leave voting open to the Super Chat donations until the end of the show. So you can still sway this with a Super Chat donation. It will be 1 point for each dollar that you pledge. So, Eric Wolf, go ahead and kick us off.
Let's do it.
Pete.
I am taking recommendations for, if you guys want to email me, Eric. Eric M at WDWNT.com. If you want to send me your suggestions for our final Disney death matches, we might expand it. We might expand a field next week just because it's our last show, and why not? It seems to be what people like about the show, this and Butters.
Why is it your
go
last
ahead and
show?
email me. That's what?
Why is it your last show? Because it's not like Disney's opening back up right now.
That's exactly why, because we are providing 2 live shows a day while there's no parks and there's no news and there's nothing to do for people. And once the parks open up, people have stuff to do on a Saturday, including me. So basically, we're cutting down the schedule for our entire network to more like, we'll do WDW News Today, probably 3 times a week, News Tonight on Thursdays. We're going to keep pressing issues, and we're going to keep Park Center. And Tom is introducing a new show called Materially Disney, which is kind of like, as far as I can tell, like it's not quite Antiques Roadshow for Disney merchandise, but Tom has so much Disney merchandise that he'll bring in and go over with it. It's going to be higher production value too. Oh yeah, Patrick says sorry, he has to do this butter beer to win. Yeah, Butter's beer, that'd be good. We have to go to Universal. Oh, and another one. Steven Sanford for Dole Whip. 10 Oh, there's a super chat.
Where do you get a creme brulee shake?
I think that's like a seasonal thing, isn't it? It's probably at that boat at the studios. There's that. Oh God, I'm going blank. What the boat's called? On the left, when you walk in, they have all those like things they rotate in and out. Like they had a great sweet cinnamon churro milkshake. They always kind of rotate them in. What?
Nice.
What's it called? Mint and Bills. Okay, I can't hear Lee very well. She's getting more frustrated each time I have bad hearing, guys. By the way, I have bad hearing. Who knows? Service connected disability. That's what I call it. Maybe it's not. All right, Eric. How are we doing on voting? Are we ready to close
I think I'm
it?
gonna stop it now. Yeah.
All right, voting has come to an end. But don't count his $10 vote. We'll count that $10 vote separate from the regular viewer voting. So viewers,
Sounds good.
What does our count look like? No,
I'm gonna count them up right now. Sorry.
It's okay. Counting is hard. That's why you do it, because I can't. I'm bad at it. Don't make too much noise, though. Hillary will call the police on you.
Whoop, whoop. That's what's under the police.
She's 100% that you know who.
Yes.
As Lizzo would say. So.
I mean, I was in the courtyard yesterday being loud too, but I wrapped it up by 7 p.m.
Yeah, Pete was like spinning a DJ show that his whole apartment complex could hear with loudspeakers, but Pete was done at like 6:15. I don't think he was disturbing it. I think if Pete did that at 2 a.m, he would have got more complaints.
Although they want me to come back, they want me to do a nighttime pool party. We're gonna bring lights and put them in the pool and lasers and stuff. So what? I don't know what people are gonna think about that. I don't care as long as they give me permission. But I'll let you guys know when we do that.
Hey, Eric Wolf, Rob Collier likes your hat.
Oh, thank you.
You always have good hats. You have good hats. You have a lot of the. I like your Aladdin hat. What's that one? The Street Rat.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Street Rat. Yeah, that one's cool.
I want to tell you guys about a mask I just ordered. It's a raccoon dressed up like Aladdin on a magic carpet ride, and he goes, "I can show you some trash." That's my new mask.
That does not sound like a WDWNT mask. So
that also does not sound like. That's never the voice I put to a raccoon either. My raccoons do not have that nice angelic voice.
I just think of those raccoons from the.
Show you some trash.
Yeah, I think of those raccoons from my favorite movie, The Great Outdoors. Ba 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 boom. Remember those raccoons that go through the Great Outdoors? If you guys haven't seen Pete, you definitely haven't seen The Great Outdoors. You need to see The Great Outdoors. John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, fantastic.
I've been inside my whole life.
Oh, here we go. Patrick, another $5 donation. He says, we're getting off topic. I'm also really good at walking, driving, taking up 2 seats on a plane, binge watching. I have 2 cats and unemployment check. Ooh, he's got ladies.
Watch out.
I don't like
You're not gonna
playing
be single much
matchmaker, but
longer. You are
yeah.
not going to be single much longer, my friend.
A friend.
The unemployment
We're playing
checks.
the dating game. I'm gonna message Nick right now. He needs to put you on.
Yeah, we'll get you on one of the shows. We'll have a matchmaker show. We'll get you on the next dating game. It's got to be better than the last dating game. Sorry, I make dating game jokes. You guys see those on News Tonight. All right, Eric, are we set?
We are. So we have Citrus Swirl with 3 points.
Wait, this is the audience. 3 votes for the Citrus Swirl in the audience. Okay.
Correct, just the audience. We have Mickey Bar with 5 points.
Wow.
Yeah, Mickey Bar 5. They came out in droves. And then we have the Dole Whip with 14 points.
Oh, wait, with the 14, are you counting the $10? I'm counting the $10 separately, right?
No, I'm not. I'm not counting the $10.
So that's 30 points for the Dole Whip, 5 for the Mickey Bar, and 7 for the Citrus Swirl. You could still flip this vote with a massive super. We got a $37 donation last week. It was after the conversion rate, so you never know. So you can't vote for it anymore unless it's a super chat. Not to be a money grubber there, but that's the way this game works. I don't make the rules. All right, so right now, like I said, 30 for the Dole Whip, 5 for the Mickey Bar, 7 for Citrus Swirl. We have more matchups coming. 7, yeah, 7. You guys know how this works. We always have to have a 7.
I didn't make a rule.
Hillary's got. Is that Desmond? That's Desmond.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously,
Desmond has white
that's
on him.
Desmond.
Gene does not. Desmond and Gene are brothers, and Desmond has white on his face, and Gene does not. So they are both jerks. I mean, they're sweet cats, but they are the jump on the, like I stayed at Hillary's the loft one time, and it was like the 2 a.m. up on the dresser, swatting jewelry off of the dresser just to be jerks. So let's
To be fair, it was 3 a.m.
Yes, he did wait till 3. I'm sorry. All right.
Can we just talk about how Karen wrote back in the chat, "Hey Patrick, I'm pushing 40. Is that too old for you?"
Hey man, you got to fish with the right bait. I found it.
I'm dying in this chat. All right.
Oh God, I
Let's
love you
find
guys.
out what's going on. We
I'm
have a
gonna
lot
miss
of
this
matches
for
today.
sure. Yeah, we have one more. We have another match. What's match number 2? Let's kick it off. Poison.
Wait, sorry.
Versus
No,
Joe.
no.
Oh wait, that's wrong. Sorry, that's a
I was
mistake. Who put
bored.
that in there? Yeah. Who put that in there?
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Spaceship Earth narrators. This is a big one. We have the original guy. If Kevin, what's his name? I forgot his name.
Vic Perrin?
Yeah, Vic Perrin, something like that. I don't know. He was like on Outer Limits. Then we have Jeremy Irons, Dame Judi Dench, and Walter Cronkite, the most trusted man in America. Let's revise that slide because we're going to get rid of that first guy because nobody's going to vote for him. He was the original, but we all know that people don't feel passionately about that one. They feel passionate. There we go. Walter Cronkite, Jeremy Irons, and Dame Judi Dench. This is a tough matchup. I mean, technically all we have is Judi Dench right now, but we can, if we get rid of her, one of these others goes in there. So there we go. Your Spaceship Earth navigators. Wait, Patrick Brock is accepting applications. 18 and up, please. All right, guys. I'm glad we can match people up. You crazy kids. I'm getting misty-eyed in here thinking about the romance that we find in the YouTube chat. Yeah, Dawn said she thought Cronkite was the OG, and actually I did too. But that's because I don't think I rode Spaceship Earth until probably 1989 or 1990, which I think by then Walter Cronkite had taken over. So Hillary and I have a brother named Andy, and Andy had a band that was very popular in the 90s in the Midwest called Danger Bob. They had a song called Incredidome, and I know they sampled some Walter Cronkite from this, so I get that stuck in my head all the time. For eons, our planet has drifted as a spaceship through the universe. And then they'd say something like, on this wave of inspiration, this tale heads to a bold new chapter. Anyway, let's open up the discussion. I'm getting way too far off track. And again, we're just going to go in clockwise order, starting at Hillary up there at 12 o'clock. What do you think?
These are all great narrators, navigators, whatever you want to call them. Awesome voices. And I'm not going to pair the voice with the ride now necessarily. I'm just going to go strictly voice, right? We're taking the theme out of it. Okay. Well, one of them has a title. I think that's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. It shows a lot of, look, Disney is like going.
I mean, Al Yankovic has a title, Hillary. It's weird. That doesn't make him
on the planet. One of them shares a name with Mr. Disney. There's a lot of things happening.
Yeah, there's.
And Walter Cronkite does have the Presidential Medal of Freedom, so he is not undecorated.
Oh yeah. We don't just toss out titles. We give out medals. Somebody touches your shoulder with a sword. Big deal. Yeah. Jack Ryan got knighted when he saved royal family members in Patriot games. Anyway, Judi Dench got it for like pretending to be people. Come on. All right. I'm sorry.
Oh. I think that one is half authoritative. You listen. And it's dulcet at the same time. I think one rides that down the center better than the other two.
Okay, that's fair. Do you want to say which one that is, or does that give away your vote and you feel like it would?
Here, I'm going to just be very elusive about it. I'm going to vote for the woman.
Oh, no, we're not accepting votes yet.
What's that one going to be?
I don't see gender.
Yeah, it's just a construct.
So for me, I only remember two of these. I remember two of these. I love both of those particular people. I really do. But I think one just has a voice that is easy to listen to. It is, how can I say this? Like I'd believe them if they said something to me. And on this ride that you're telling me history, it's just one of these that I'm just very much like, yeah, you know what?
Where you couldn't believe everything that people told you that were in positions of authority. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, no, one of these is very much a front runner for me because of the fact that I particularly like that person, just how they present themselves. And in this ride, it's very important to me in that stance.
Yeah. Okay.
And that is what I'm going to say, and I'll be right back.
After these messages, he'll be right back. All right, Pete Kearney.
Like a grand and miraculous competition, we have sailed through the universe on a quest for who is the best narrator. But who will win? I only remember one version of this ride. So it's hard for me to commentate on the rest. But if I'm going strictly on best turtleneck, we'll see who I vote for.
Oh!
Oh! Wow. Yeah. Allison.
I've heard. I know I've heard all three at some point in my life. I'm pretty sure, but I don't remember two. And I feel like you have to think about not only the person doing it, but also does the voice match the attraction? And I think that's very important to because the two that I remember, the two most recent ones, one is going to give you a little bit of a different vibe and a different feeling than the other is, and one might match the feeling of the attraction a little bit more than the other does. So it's tough, but I think I know who I'm gonna go for.
I'm laughing because it said breaking news: Cronkite no longer relatable.
So, Walter Cronkite was, according to polls, like the most trusted man in America for decades, right? He's probably the most iconic, recognizable person to an average person, but people that are probably younger don't have no idea who he was. He was a big deal. He used to host the news, and he was the guy. Like, he's the A-list of A-listers when it came to you wanting to do something like this. So it's hard for me.
The news.
Yeah, he used to Cronkite the news.
Like,
So,
there's not even anything comparable because we have so many different people. But I think one of the biggest for Cronkite was he's the one who was talking to the nation during like the Kennedy assassination and after that
moon landing.
Moon landing and all these iconic things.
Yeah,
He
Walter
lived through the
Cronkite
entire
was the
Spaceship
guy.
Earth ride. Like, he was there for
hold
like
on to that
the
vote.
writings.
Hold on. Robbie voted already. So I got to figure that. Whoa, shoot.
Patrick is
the dating game is getting out of control. We got $5 for Jeremy. I hold on. Oh gosh.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Oh God. This is so good.
Okay. Hold on. This is going to take me a second.
I graduated middle school.
I graduated middle school. Got me. That was the best part of that message. Age is not a factor. I want kids one day. I graduated middle school. My cat's named Adam.
I love this.
Great.
But
list.
Robbie,
great list. Likes art. My mom says I'm special. Apparently he also hates commas. He hates commas.
Okay, but at the same time, $10. Thank you for your donations. Robbie Elliott wanted $5 to go to Jeremy Irons. We haven't even opened voting yet, but I will allow that vote. You can vote anytime for super chat.
That's an
but
early honor.
$10 from Patrick. Patrick is single and ready to mingle, ladies. Let's do this.
I love this.
Let's get him hooked up. He loves E.T. and Peter Pan. He's a great listener. He collects art. His mom says he's
You want
special.
kids. You lost out on Karen. You had her until children.
This is
she was down for the 2 seats on the plane. She would have completed your row on the plane, but she will not have children with you.
I can't.
What's that?
Right.
Oh, that Robin Williams did Walter Cronkite. But yeah, there's some Walter Cronkite references in with Robin Williams and things. Jeremy Irons, look, Walter Cronkite, very distinctive, very trusted, very like parental. Is that like a good word? Like, or what's? Yeah, he's like your grandpa talking to you.
Who are you talking about?
That's Cronkite. Irons, man,
yeah.
Jeremy Irons has $1 billion voice. I mean, that voice. If I had Jeremy Irons' voice, I wouldn't be doing a YouTube show on Saturday mornings for free. He has the best voice. Judi Dench, I love her. I think Judi Dench has a weak script. I don't like the script of the current Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
And then she has to narrate that kind of cheesy, like, create your robot vacation thing. Like, I get it. It was kind of cool or whatever. They might get rid of it because touchscreens are out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess no touchscreens. They're going to redo. And I know they're supposed to, or May 26th was going to be, or 24th or 26th was going to be the last day of Spaceship Earth before it went to a major refurb. So I don't know if that's still going to happen. And I don't know, did they say who was going to talk on it? I forgot. Pete would know that. I'm sure we had an article on it. I don't remember who, but
it's going to be Mickey Mouse. He is going to narrate Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, Bobcat
I hope it's
Goldthwait.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that would be.
No, they didn't announce who the voice is. They just said that we're going to follow the storytelling light, whatever that is.
Yeah, all right, whatever that
Martin
means.
Short.
This is
Short.
You want Martin
Martin's
Short?
gone.
That is creating papyrus.
I feel like I would also like if it was perhaps Whoopi Goldberg. I think she'd be a great narrator.
Yeah, I
They
don't
should
know.
have. They have a farm system for great narrators. It's the Candlelight
Morgan
Procession,
Freeman.
so I'll take
Morgan Freeman is right there at the top, right? What about?
Morgan Freeman.
I would like Neil Patrick Harris would be a good narrator for it.
I
But
think
they would probably have to make it a
I
little.
love me NPH, but I don't think he would be.
Yeah.
Harvey Firestein, ride or die. That's the voice I want taking you to my
Oh no.
Patrick
Stewart,
Stewart, that's a good- yeah. Rob Collier said Patrick Stewart. That would be a good one.
Yeah,
James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones is an obvious choice. James Earl Jones would. How could you? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to go along. We already have. Jeremy Irons is already out to a 5-point lead, thanks to the kind donation that we had in the super chat from Robbie Elliott. So we're going to start voting now on the panel. So Hillary, you're first. Let's hear
All right,
it.
well-
I think I know who you're voting for.
I know it's going to be hard, but if Disney taught me not to trust the voice of Scar, I don't want him taking me to my future. I think it's cool. We're progressive and we have a female leading, and although her script is tired, I'm going to ride with Judy.
Well, I like that.
Not stupid, Judy.
Paul, we didn't even
one.
discuss the Scar angle. He has hurt a lot of Disney fans. He did actually, when we talk about James Earl Jones taking over as the voice of Spaceship Earth, he did kill James Earl Jones in The Lion King. So that could be a totally different type of Disney death match.
No.
So that's 2-5. Jeremy Irons still in the lead. Eric Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with Hillary. He's great as Scar. I just can't trust him. I like him as Scar. I even like him as Alfred in the Batman movies. I'll give him that. But I just can't trust you, dude. And Judy, I can trust that lady with my life.
Yeah,
I'm going to trust her with my future. I'm
with you. I listen to her. I thoughtfully listen to her. Somebody in the chat said that she puts them to sleep. Well, we all need a nap sometimes. Whatever she does for you, whatever. That's fine. I listen. And so does it. Eric the Wolf.
Let's go with the howl. Oh, God. Okay, first of all, we have Patrick, $2 sliding into Allison's DMs for that smile and laugh. Allison is a married woman.
Oh, snap.
And then
I'm married.
5, and then Robbie Elliott, 5 more for Jeremy Irons already in the super chat. So Jeremy Irons 10, Judi Dench 4, Walter Cronkite 0, and a wolf howl to punctuate the votes for Judi Dench. Pete Carney.
Well, if I can vote for the voice who does the Portuguese, because my brother hit that button on accident last time we were on the ride, that was a great voice. The Portuguese voice was very good. But I will go with the only version I know. It's really, I've only done the Dame Judi Dench version. So she's the best I've ever had because she's the only one I've ever had. So here's to you, Jude.
All right. 2 more points for Jude. Oh, wait. Short Force, $2 vote for Walter Cronkite. And that's the way it is.
Oh.
I sound like Walter Cronkite. I sound like it in my headset. And that's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
And then Patrick. Oh, he's $2 donation. You can hold this over your husband's head, Allison. So,
Allison, watch out.
No.
Watch out. Patrick's coming in real hot.
Look, our government unemployment money is really going to
see that.
Who are unemployed right now.
Don't slide into her DM. Slide into her Venmo. It looks like you have a good time.
We have like 3 Allisons on staff. We can probably find one of them that will take some money for. So.
Dude, I'll date you, dude.
Never mind, that came out wrong. Yeah, send it to Pete. Slide into Pete's DMs.
You just gotta explain things like Allison does, though. That's what he liked.
All right. Well, Patrick.
Where was I? It's Allison's vote.
Allison?
Yes. I am going to go for the voice of Scar himself, Jeremy Irons.
Whoa. Can't trust him, but you can still like his voice.
His voice voice is so unique.
I will be king.
It's so good. I love his voice. Anytime you hear him speak, you know, it's like split second, you know, that's Jeremy Irons. And I felt like his voice kind of matches the ride a little bit more than Judi Dench's voice. I feel like he adds like a little bit of a sense of drama to the ride. Like, you know, you have like, you know, the cave scene, and he's got like this kind of dramatic voice, and then his line when the theater was born. I love it.
It's good. I'll give it to you.
I'm back.
I didn't even know you were frozen.
My favorite part of the ride is like when you go by the fire and it's like it smells.
Yeah.
The fall of Rome.
I love the fire smell. I love it. All right. So, Allison, I know you voted for Jeremy Irons, and then I lost my internet connection, then it came back, and I'm back. So that's 2 plus the $10 of donations. So that's 12 for Jeremy Irons, 6 for Judi Dench, 2 for Walter Cronkite from a super chat donation, and it's my turn to vote, and I'm voting for the most trusted man in America, more trustworthy than Scar, the wonderful voice of America's grandpa, Walter Cronkite.
Oh.
So that is 4 for Cronkite, that is 12 for Irons, and that is 6 for Judi Dench. Tough. It's a tough matchup. It can be flipped at any time by the viewers. Yeah.
It's close enough.
Yeah. So anyway, Eric, you ready to open the voting? Only vote once, please, in the YouTube chat only. Don't vote on Facebook. We won't see it.
Somebody said I have a candle that smells like Rome burning.
Yeah, there's people that sell those.
There's a tea that smells like that too. Something between the branches.
What's that?
Dang.
Is it like sandalwood?
All right, somebody voted for Tom Corliss. 2 people voted for Tom Corliss.
Oh, they're just mad.
Can you imagine him?
He doesn't have the right softness to his voice.
It's time for a Butters break.
Thank you,
Butters is here to supervise the voting.
So, does anyone
Been
know what they're
outside.
doing? What are they doing to the ride? Does anyone know?
We're following the storytelling light.
Screens. Projections.
We're gonna follow a storytelling light. That's what we're doing. In a giant geometric sphere.
But will there be a sleeping monk?
I mean,
Probably.
I have a sleeping monk.
Do you think you're going to spend money on new animatronics? They took the newsboy that was always like, extra, New York Daily, and they just turned him around because his face was messed up. I'm okay. Here, I'm going to give Butters back to her mother. Oh, here you go. Oh, it's okay, Butters. Here we go.
Man.
Butters loves you all. She's never felt so proud for all the love she's gotten in the last 10 weeks or 9 weeks. I don't know.
9 weeks.
What is that?
Sleeping Monks. Oh, it's a triple ale. Nice.
It's a Belgian beer.
Nice. Can I show my shirt? I don't think you can see my shirt.
Of course. Yeah, I love your shirt.
I mean, I'm sure it would get a super chat from someone if you showed your shirt. There you go.
Allison has the Yeti.
I love it.
Mix the Yeti. You see, Allison only wears that shirt to the club where there's a strobe light going so that the Yeti looks like it's moving.
That's it. That's what I do.
The B mode Yeti.
Needed some
Yeah. The B mode Yeti. Yeah, Butters is the short for says Butters is the best spaceship Earth narrator. That's probably true.
They probably the current one.
All right, we're going to give you about 10 more seconds. Please only vote once.
Yes.
And go ahead. Let's just go ahead and close it out, Eric. I think we are set. Stop. No more votes from the viewers. We're going to give Eric a few moments to tabulate this. The submarine thing is for the super chats. The bell is to stop. I don't know, Kevin. We're just
I'm just pressing all the buttons.
I don't even know.
Oh, Robbie Elliott, $10 for Jeremy Irons cannot be defeated. Wow, Robbie.
Wow. Robbie, I'm pretty sure is related to Jeremy Irons at this point.
It's possible.
A lot of Jeremy Irons love.
And last week it got crazy. We were having to calculate exchange rates to value the votes and stuff because someone was voting in like, I don't know, pounds or euros or something.
Yeah, I think it was pounds.
I made a donation in rupees.
Come in. In rupees.
I'm good to go when you are.
Okay, so Joseph Magnus is a success. Hold on, I'm on my second. Hey, we got Kat. Hillary's turning her camera around. We got a cat. We got Desmond voting. He's a cute one. All right, so Eric, what are the results, Eric?
Pet shark.
In front of viewers.
We got Cronkite with 8 votes.
Okay.
We got Mr. Irons with 10 votes.
Okay.
And then we got Miss Judy Dench with 6 votes.
6 votes. That brings her to 12. All right, so she's at 12. Irons is at 12 plus 20, 32.
Ooh.
And Walter Cronkite is at 12. Is that right? Is that right? I'm sorry. Yeah, we had, hold on. We had $20 in super chat donations for Walter Cronkite, I think. Or for Irons, I mean. So, yeah, 32 to 12 to 12. And that's the way it stands right now. This is how it goes on Disney Deathmatch. Viewers, are you ready for our third Disney Death? They start to get really, they're going to start to get pretty contentious here. Are you ready for the third Deathmatch today?
I'm not ready.
I am.
I mean, it is.
Do it.
It's a humdinger, a whiz banger.
Humdinger.
A whiz banger.
I don't know. I'm making up words.
Sounds bad.
It's like drinks. I used to go to this casino. I used to go to a casino in Biloxi when I lived in Houston. We'd go there sometimes, and we would play a game where my friend and I would order each other's drinks because they're free at the time. And the only rule was you would order for each other, and it had to be a drink that you've heard of, but you don't know what it is. So she'd come up, and my friend would my friend would be like, he'll have a Harvey Wallbanger, and then I'd be like, he'll have a Sazerac. I didn't know what those were back then. So, those were good times. All right. Are we ready for our third matchup?
Yes, indeed.
I am.
Yeah.
Let's have it. It's a tough one, but an obvious one people talked about for a long time. Oh, wait.
Oh no.
Wolf Den versus Locked In versus Party with People.
No.
What are you doing, Kevin?
Sorry,
Don't do this.
They all must go.
We're not going to do that. Oh, we're not going to do that. There we go. That's the right one. Monorail resorts. All the resorts on the monorail loop. So we're going to do the Polynesian versus the Grand Floridian versus the Contemporary. I know. This is a painful one for people. I warned you. So I guess we will just start. We'll just keep going in clockwise order. We'll start with you, Hillary Morton.
I have only
What are your thoughts?
spent the night in one of these, and I love it. I love the whole theming. I don't know. It sings classic Disney, although these are all 3 original resorts, right?
Well, I mean, the Grand Floridian came along a few years later, right? When they opened, I think they had the Poly and I know they had the Contemporary because they were throwing down sod like the day before they opened.
Contemporary and the Poly were there on opening day.
So there's Contemporary and Poly. There was going to be another resort that was, I don't know if that was like a Chinese resort or something that was going to be kind of between the TTC and the Contemporary.
It was like a Venetian resort, I'm pretty sure.
Venetian, yeah. So, but yeah, these are the 3 big ones. We have anyway, go ahead. Hold on. $5 for Patrick again. All right. Thank you for all you've done during this poopy time. You have all made me less lonely. I'm still single, holding Instagram interviews later at Brock and Z89. So ladies, your window is still open.
Hey, you gotta take it off private though.
What's
you gotta
that?
take it off private. He has it on private. The girls can't.
Sorry, bro. You're on private. You gotta. If you want the ladies to come running, you gotta put yourself out there. All right. So Hillary, continue. I know you've stayed at the Poly, right?
I enjoy beaches. A couple of these are on a beach, so that's nice.
Well, those beaches are closed thanks to the Florida wildlife.
Beach, please.
You can stand in sand, but you can't. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just going to get straight to the point. I enjoy bars. Okay. And one of them has
monkey bars, ice cream bars.
Okay.
Well, no, and Hillary, I think it's worth going through. Well,
I also love Hawaii. Okay. So I like fire, and we'll pass this on to the wolf.
Fire. I have made fire.
All right. So I've never stayed in any of these resorts. I will say that. I haven't stayed in any of them. I've gone to them, especially since I've now lived here for 5 years. I have gone to these resorts. I enjoy the restaurants. I enjoy just the atmosphere, but I do enjoy one of these resorts a lot more for restaurants, for atmosphere, for just like chilling. I really do enjoy one of these resorts a lot more than the other two.
Okay. That's good. Pete, I know Pete will be all over this because Pete knows every bar and restaurant like the back of his hand.
I was going to say, I'll give them all a fair shake. I mean, contemporary, you can walk to the Magic Kingdom. You got the Wave. The monorail runs through the middle. You got Chef Mickey's. You got California Grill where you could dine while the sun is setting and watch fireworks and they pump in the music. You go over to the Poly. You got the dinner show outside.
Excuse me. Can we have the submarine thing? We have another super chat. We're trying to help Patrick. There's another $2. Better at blind dates. He doesn't want to scare him off. So, okay. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but usually we always have to give tribute to the super chats. Maybe we should only use the dive bell for votes though. So maybe I was wrong. I apologize, Kevin. Continue, Pete.
Anyway, so the Poly, you got Trader Sam's, you got Tonga Toast, you got Cone Upstairs, you got Tambu Lounge, home of some of the best drinks on property. You have the beach outside. Love the theming at the Poly. And then over at the Grand Flow, you have straight up class. You walk in, grand piano. There's a giant bird cage for some reason. There's beautiful carpeting. There's some of the best restaurants on property. Victoria and Albert, Citricos, Narcoossee's. Lots of good stuff happening at the Grand Flow Ride Idion. So this is a tough category. Who would I vote for? Nobody knows.
All right, Allison.
I have not actually stayed at any of these properties, but I have visited and walked around and eaten at all of the properties. So that's what my decision is going to be based on. A lot of the atmosphere in the restaurants. I think Pete covered kind of everything that I would have mentioned with the restaurants. You mean Grand Floridian, you have like the most expensive and fanciest Victoria and Albert's, although extremely pricey. One of the things that we have to take into account, like how much are these costing? Can we afford to go to some of these? What's the view?
Well, the concept behind this one, I didn't share this with the panel yet. The reason these are on the chopping block is that Bob Chapek needs to sell the real estate for 2 of these to build high rises. So he's going to build affordable 60-story high rises of tenement housing or value resorts. I don't know what he's going to do. So that's what's going to happen. That's why why would we get rid of these resorts otherwise? We got to make room. We got to sell we got to put high rises on the ones that you vote for. No, I don't know.
Yeah, this is real. This is breaking news.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here.
Patrick Brock is public. Check him out. Patrick Brock is public. Check out his Instagram. I'm sorry, Allison. Continue.
Some of them have very kind of classy, like classic kind of feels to them, and some of them are very heavily themed. So I think it kind of depends on your taste. The Poly is super themed, has a different kind of atmosphere. Then the Grand Floridian has a totally different atmosphere there. Thinking about, are you going there for the lounges? Are you going there for the different types of recreational activities that they offer? It's a tough one. Proximity to the park is really important. The view, can you have a really good view of the castle? So there's a lot of things to take into consideration for this. I don't know what I'm voting for right now. Honestly,
okay. You got like at least a minute and a half.
That's good. I thought I had 3 hours.
I hope
I'll say, like, if you look at it, if you're there, like the rooms, I've stayed at Contemporary and Poly. I have not stayed at Grand Floridian. Contemporary, the rooms there's nothing special about them, right? They're modular rooms that were like lifted in by a crane, and they're not that big, and it kind of opens to that big atrium, which is weird. But Contemporary has primo location. You can take a launch over to Fort Wilderness from there and the Wilderness Lodge easily. A quicker trip. You can walk straight to the Magic Kingdom, no problem. You have the Wave, which is a fantastic bar. You have Chef Mickey's, which is very popular. You have the California Grill, which is a very nice restaurant with a great, you can go up there. They have a great bar, get sushi there and watch the fireworks from the roof of the Contemporary. That's really hard to beat. But as a place to actually spend a night, you look at it, you look in there, and it's kind of what you see is what you get. I think it could probably, I don't know, it could probably be a little better in that area. The Polynesian, again, these all have a great location. I think out of the locations, the Contemporary has the best location. Polynesian, great view for the fireworks. You have Trader Sam's, you have the Tiki Terrace, you have Tambu Lounge, making some of the most iconic drinks in Disney. You can buy the spiky pineapple drink if you so desire. You have Kona, like you have all these things. Plus you have the Spirit of Aloha show, which I apologize, we eliminated last week in our Disney Deathmatch, but we reset everything every week. So there it is. Fantastic location, beautiful resort. I like the style. You have the tiki torches, I guess they're called, that are lining the pathways.
Yes.
Hard to vote against that. Grand Floridian, you have, it's the most high end of them, right? They're all overpriced, but it's the most high end. And you have Victoria and Albert's, and you have Citrico, and you have Narcoossee's, and you have Enchanted Rose, the new bar that replaced Meisner's there, which is fantastic. You have it's a great bar. If money is no object, it's a great bar, a great spot to go. I mean, and they're putting in the walkway. You will be able to walk to the Magic Kingdom very soon from Grand Floridian. So again, it's a tough choice, but we got to eliminate two of them. We got to pick one. I'm going to go to you, Hillary. First off, lead us off. What's your vote?
The only thing I like more than a Dole Whip is a spiked Dole Whip. I just like it so much.
You like the back scratcher too.
I love the back scratcher. I love Trader Sam's. I want to go to the pool and get a Caribbean cooler. Like, I can go to Disney. I don't even have to go to the parks. When I go to the Polynesian, I feel like I'm kind of just having a great time anyway. I know there's a lot of kids there. There's a lot of kids at all of them, but honestly, when I walk into the Grand Floridian, I feel like they're going to kick me out. I don't feel like I'm fancy enough. I kind of look.
Get her out of here.
She feels that way because it actually happened, I'm sure. We don't. You have a visible tattoo. Can you please leave?
But I don't think it's as nice of a hotel. I don't know. I just give me a spiky Dole Whip for days, and they like sing outside on the porch, and you can see the fireworks really well. I say Polynesian. I love that place.
Yeah, it's not a bad vote. Eric Wolf.
So no, actually, Hillary, I feel the exact same way. I walk into the Grand Floridian and I'm just like, everyone's staring at me because I don't belong here. It's so weird. I just don't like it at all. Contemporary's cool, but like Eric said, like I feel like if I'm gonna start thinking about like everything, like the rooms are just like modular rooms. They just like slid in there. They're kind of small. You can tell they're small. And walking out into that big, huge just area is just weird to me. So I'm voting for the Poly, and Poly all the way.
Oh.
Yes.
Poly won a cracker. 2 more points for the Poly. That's a 4-0 lead over the other two. Pete Kearney.
But Eric, I heard they just pump in the smell of pineapple throughout the whole place.
Okay,
That's
stop.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
More Beverly, please said, Eric, don't go as Robbie.
Don't go as Robbie?
As Robbie. I think is it Russ the robot? Is that what we're talking about? No, I don't know.
Maybe Russ the robot.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Now Patrick Rock, another $2 donation.
That's why
He's
you didn't
Michael
feel fancy
McCallum.
enough?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, Pete. I want to know how Pete's going to vote because Pete is the absolute expert on these in terms of bars, lounges, restaurants.
I've been known to do a few monorail bar crawls before it was cool. For me, okay, so I've never stayed at any of the three because I come from humble place in my life.
Humble means.
But I've hung out at all three of these. I enjoy literally taking people and saying, like, let's just take a day and make our way around these three resorts because they are so extremely different to me. But to me, this was kind of easy. I know we said this was a hard one, but going into this, I was like, this is an easy one for me. My favorite character breakfast on property is Ohana. I love.
Oh, I didn't even mention Ohana. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good place.
They have, I'm going, in case you don't know, I'm going with Polynesian. Also, some of the best snack stands. Like, so one of the only places you can get good sushi on property. I love their pool areas. They have two different pool areas, which is great. They have a pool bar on one. They have another pool bar on the other one. So each pool has its own pool bar. You can go hang out. I love that they just have fire throwers for the general public, whether you're out on the grass or in the sand, or if you're upstairs at the Tambu Lounge having a back scratcher or a lapu lapu, you can look down from the floor to ceiling glass. Trader Sam's probably the most iconic lounge on property. Again, you could rent a boat, go out into the lagoon. You could walk over to the TTC, take a boat over that way. You could take the monorail right from there. It's got it all for me. I think it's just beautiful to walk around any time of day. Best lounges, best atmosphere. I think the theming is gorgeous. And even in terms of watching fireworks, if you just sat on that beach at night, you can see the fireworks. You got a straight view of them behind the castle, as opposed to from an angle like watching from the Contemporary. You're kind of looking over Spaceship Earth, and they're not synced up. It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's where I want to be. As Dave Matthews says, where you are is where I want to be. That's it. Give me the Poly all day. I can go on forever.
2 more points for the Poly. I want to just pause real quick. Courtney, thank you for pointing this out. Courtney pointed out it's a bit pricey, but you can get the commercial grade scent machines they use at the resorts on Scent Air. And green clover and aloe scent is what they use at the Contemporary. So there you go. If you want to transport yourself to the Contemporary, we can bulldoze it at the end of this death match, and you can still.
I'm pretty sure the
get
Contemporary is
nice
just
smells.
old carpet. That's the
it's maybe old carpet, old wet carpet. No, I love the Contemporary, but maybe it could use some sprucing up. I don't know. Allison, let's hear it.
All right. So this was tough because I haven't stayed at any of them. I think I'm going to go for the Grand Floridian. I'm voting for the Grand Floridian. Some of the things that I really enjoy there are I like the fact that the little kids can see Cinderella and Prince Charming in the big kind of lobby dancing, and they kind of do that little parade thing. I think that's super cute. You don't really see the princesses are the princesses at any other Disney resort? Like hotel? Can you meet them anywhere else?
I don't think so. I think that is the only place.
You may be right.
I don't know. I'm not big on that.
Let me maybe All-Star Sports.
Yeah. Rebecca, the Princess of Newark, is available at the All-Star Sports. You can see her.
But she's my favorite, so whatever.
Perfect.
Also, to make a point for you too, Allison, is no one mentioned the tea. I've done the afternoon tea at the Grand Floridian, and it's really cool.
Me too. I loved
Yeah.
it. It was so cute. It was very nice. And like you get a decent amount of food. It's not a lot. It's obviously clearly more focused on tea and tiny little like mini pastries, but you can have like a decent lunch there. That's really nice. I like the live band that plays there. That's very, very nice. I love a place where
Yeah,
you
they
can get
moved
some,
the Grand Floridian
quality.
Orchestra. They moved them to like the entrance. They're like
to the corner.
They moved them. Yeah, they're in the corner when you first come in because they built that gigantic enchanted rose and it kind of pushed them out. I guess I don't know.
Enchanted rose.
Yeah, we're hearing there are a lot of
eggs,
these
the chocolate
resorts.
eggs.
People are saying you can see princesses at the Wilderness Lodge at Port Orleans. Yeah, Snow White's at the Wilderness Lodge, according to Joseph Johnson.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
That's right. And,
yeah, the trailer park princesses are at All Stars, according to Rob. That's right.
Oh, no.
Whoa! I think first of all, that's a shot at trailer parks. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh boy.
Also, where I come from,
We're just walking the edge.
I get confused.
What's that?
Where I come from, All Stars is the name of a strip club. So every time you guys say that, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
No, that's literally what we were referring to.
It is a place where they pack. It is a place where they pack cheerleaders in, like, and stack them as high as they can, but a totally different thing.
Oh gosh.
Eric's just digging a deeper hole.
All right, I'm in trouble today. Yeah, they might shut my show down after next week.
Yeah,
all right, so
I like being at a fancy place. I like how it's fancy, but like when the one time when I went to Victoria and Albert's, I never felt like the wait staff or anybody there acted pretentious or stuck up at all. They just had the Disney quality service that you expect. And I always felt comfortable, so I never felt like anybody made me feel like I was out of place or like I'm in a place. I always felt like I'm in a place that they were fancy, but they didn't act like they're fancy.
Let me correct my statement. It wasn't the people that work there, so not the cast members. I'm talking about other guests.
The feel, the vibe, yeah. Or the guests, yeah.
Like the last time. Yeah. Never mind.
All right, so there's 2 points for the Grand Floridian. That comes down to me. I love all these resorts. I hate to get rid of 2 of them. It's not that I feel like I don't belong when I go to the Grand Floridian. It's that I know I don't belong when I go to the Grand Floridian, right? I think it's really beautiful. And I like, I like the Enchanted Rose. Very expensive.
Enchanted Rose, yeah.
And the contemporary is like I said, the best location. I love the Wave. I go there all the time. California Grill is great. But I think the Polynesian, I mean, you have the Tambu Lounge, Ohana, Trader Sam's, Tiki Terrace, all these things. There's just so much stuff I love there. So it doesn't look like the nicest place in the world. I mean, it looks old, but
yeah,
I love the Poly. I would hate to lose those places. I'm going 2 points for the Poly. And
nice.
Can we have the submarine thing, Kevin? Because we do have a $20 donation from Patrick Brock again. He hijacked the show. He doesn't apologize. What he will say is that all of you and everyone at WDWNT have done for all of us the Disnuts during this crazy time. I'll be forever thankful for. Yes, I'm single and looking. So, ladies, thank you very much, Patrick. It's been a pleasure. All the super chats today. I hope you find your true love. I mean that. And we'll see you down here when we start doing events. It's great. Thank you for all the help today. We appreciate all the donations. At this time, we're going to open. Yeah, and people, by the way, have talked about Boardwalk Resorts. I agree. Boardwalk Resorts might be a tougher battle. I don't know. We may do those one day. I don't know, because I love all of those. But at this time, we're going to open up the voting to the viewers. Eric Wolf is going to kick it off. When you see the wrench, you can start voting. Please only vote once. And I'm going to step away for a moment. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
I'm just getting a little sad. I just really want to go to the parks and the resorts and eat the things and hear the singing. I want all of that.
I know. I had reservations for June 1st for the California Grill, and we just got a notification that was canceled. We were expecting that it wasn't going. We were expecting that it was probably going to get canceled, but we're like hoping, fingers crossed, that it wouldn't be. And then we just got the message. I think it was Thursday. They said that's canceled, but I mean, it's delicious food. Man, that's the thing that I miss the most, I think, is the food.
I was going to ask you guys, what is the fanciest, most expensive restaurant at resorts, at all, like from all the resorts?
Victoria and Albert.
Yeah, Victoria and
Victoria and
Albert.
Albert. Yeah. It's been like the best restaurant in Florida for the last like 15 years or something like that.
I honestly just don't spend time at the Grand Floridian. Like I said earlier, I just feel like so out of place, but it's also insanely packed. But so is the Polynesian. Like when you walk in, it's a lot. But I should spend more time there. I also don't love kids, but I love Disney, and it's always an internal conflict. Like every choice I make is like, I teach kids, but I don't want them to be at Disney World. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Well, I think I don't know where. I think if you guys could stay at any resort and not pay for it, where would you stay?
I want the house on the water or a bungalow, whatever you want to call it. Give me that all
Me
day,
too.
every day.
Same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
Honestly, I was looking up prices with some of like the slower seasons, and now I'm sure with this whole COVID thing, we really should go on as a group because apparently it sleeps like 8 to 10. And if everyone threw in like $120 and there was like 8 of us, like you could afford it. Like we can make it happen. Throw some parties.
Yeah.
I'll come to Florida for that.
I keep trying to get Hillary to come down here.
I choose
it's hot.
Pete. What did I do to offend Patrick?
Wow.
What did you do?
He said just kidding. He
gave a JK.
Count on my money. I choose Eric.
Is that what JK means? I'm still unsure.
Just kidding. Yeah. Hey, has anybody noticed that that Trisket has been bringing the heat lately? Trisket used to just cut the inside of my mouth. And now they got all these great flavors, man. Triscuit's where it's at now all of a sudden. It took this quarantine for me to realize.
Voting has ended.
What'd you say, Hank?
Voting ended?
DNA. Someone said no kids are allowed DNA.
B&A? No.
Yeah.
Victoria and
I love
Albert.
the wrenches, by the way.
Oh, Victoria and Albert.
Staying up top with the wrenches.
Sponsored by Trisket. That's right. Penguin Project.
Product placement.
We're all about the Triscuits here all of a sudden.
Why have a Trisket when you can have a hot dog phone? Hello?
Man, when I was a kid, the Triscuits, I was like, I don't want those things. They hurt the roof of my mouth. Now they're bringing the heat. I mean, they're getting good flavor.
About things hurting the roof of your mouth today.
I know.
That's true.
Yeah, you have a very sensitive mouth.
So hopefully,
no. Roll the tape back. I never said that the Mickey bars hurt the roof of my mouth. I just said they were like sharp glass. All right. Anyway,
well, hopefully we will make some cream corn for lunch. Applesauce.
Got these votes in.
Okay.
All right,
and it looks like Triscuits takes it.
Triscuits in a runway. All right. So we were at 8 for the Poly, 2 for GF. Oh wait, Patrick. He wants to count up all of his money and vote Poly for Ohana. I can't count all that money you've spent today, Patrick. Are you kidding me? Don't spend it so recklessly. I can't go back there and count every single. I mean, I can't scroll that long.
Poly's just going to win by default.
I'm pretty sure it's a bajillion dollars.
I think it's $1 million.
Ew, canned cheese. I'm not a canned cheese guy. I don't hate on people who like canned cheese, but I like more of I'm I like a good goat, a nice couch, a nice sheep's milk, a nice brie, if you will, but also a nice, manchego.
Yeah.
Yeah, all different ways to make different cheeses and different textures. Mmm. My favorite is the drunken goat.
I know that we have a $10 donation from Robbie Elliott for Grand Floridian.
Hey, actually, he's just voting for Florida.
We're gonna give Patrick. I'm gonna give Patrick. Let's just give him 20 votes for Polynesian. I think that's fair, right? He donated more than that today, but he didn't designate them as votes for Poly at the time.
know.
I don't know if it's fair to go back.
I think he was lobbying for Allison and trying to pull her away from her husband.
Yeah,
you can't take votes away from Allison.
Yeah, let's go back to let's give him $2 for the Poly. We'll give him $2 for that poly vote.
That's fair.
I can't go back. It's not
even
fair
though
to
he's
go
voting
back.
for the one I voted for.
Yeah. So we anyway, what do we have from the viewer votes while we're oh shoot.
Whoa,
another
Robbie
Elliott, another $10. Wow, Robbie.
Robbie heard my comment for sure.
Thank you, Robbie.
Darn, I will eat any
total
cheese in existence. That's fair.
All right, let's do it. Contemporary has 6 votes.
Okay, contemporary 6 viewer votes. Okay, that brings us total to 6.
Grand Floridian has 7 votes.
7, that brings them to 9. Plus $20 in super chat, so that's 29 for the Grand Floridian. And what about Polly?
And Polly has 13 votes.
13.
And we had another vote as well.
21 plus 2, that's 23 with the super chat from Patrick. So
and then our votes.
Oh wait, what were you saying, Eric? We had another.
We had 1 vote for All Star Sports as well.
All Star Sports. Okay, well, there you go.
Don't call it a comeback.
Can you imagine demolishing
all
of the monorail
for the poly? Eric,
yeah,
your numbers said
we had 6. We had 8 for the poly between us, plus 13 for the viewers, right? Wait.
Yeah, and then the $2 super chat. All right, fair enough.
15. Yeah, 23.
You know they're talking about this new stimulus package, and I just got my $1,200 2 days ago. The first one.
I haven't gotten anything.
I felt like what? Come on.
I got mine on April 15th.
Yeah.
No, April 15th is the day I paid my taxes, just so you guys can have your $1,200 and give it to me 2 months later.
It's funny. They didn't have my like bank account on file because the last few years I've owed taxes, so they didn't have a direct deposit info for me. But I filled out something online, and boom, they think it was a little late, and it wasn't the full $1,200, but it was nice to have money. And then Lee had to like do all kinds of gymnastics to get hers going. I don't know, but we got hers in the mail. It's still in the mailbox. We haven't even gone down there, but I have like the U.S. Postal Service has informed delivery now. You could just get like an email from them with the scanner. So I know there is a piece of mail in the box from the U.S. Department of Treasury. So anyway, so that is 23 for the Polynesian, 29 for Grand Floridian.
Oh my God, we're losing?
Super chat donation, primarily due to $20 of super chats.
Oh,
and 6 for the contemporary.
Unless we really do figure out all of the Patrick's donations.
No.
Mandy says, Mandy's making a PSA. Mandy says, if your check hasn't come in the mail, do not call the post office, call the IRS. I happen to know Mandy does work for the U.S. Postal Service, so I assume that's pretty annoying. Oh,
there you go.
Andrew, thank you. $10 for the poly. That brings the poly to 33. All right. 33. So that puts the poly in the lead over the Grand Floridian now, 33 to 29 to 6.
Oh, so
guys, we have one more matchup, and it's a painful. Personally, for me, it's a painful one. I don't know if everybody else does. 10 more to the Grand Floridian. Robbie Elliott. There we go. 39 for the Grand Floridian. Wow. Robbie is not to be denied. The Grand Floridian will survive. Oh, there you go, Allison. Yeah, Grand Floridian, I think, is the most beautiful. Like when you think aerial photo or something, Grand Floridian is the most beautiful. So I get that.
Like at Christmas time, that place is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Well, Princess Diana stayed there, but John Lennon stayed at the Poly famously. So, like, who's your favorite celebrity is really what it comes down to.
And Richard Nixon gave the "I'm not a crook" speech at the Contemporary. So we have it all. We're all over the map.
But what else happened in the Poly?
Yeah. I'm not a crook. That speech took place in the ballroom of the Americans.
Oh, Pete, stop.
Oh, no, Pete. This is a family show. We don't talk about children, and we don't talk about your virginity.
Sorry. I thought it was after 2 o'clock. I thought after 2 o'clock the kids were in bed.
2 o'clock
2
break.
a.m.
All right. Yes?
All right, let's do it.
What? Oh, Lee would like to remind everyone that Princess Diana once stayed at the Grand.
That's fitting.
That is, yeah, she would, right? I would be pretty upset if Princess Diana had ended up staying at the All-Star movies. I'd be pretty bummed.
Did you know that Princess Diana was on the radio the night she died?
Oh, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it, Hillary.
Then you're yelling at me about lovemaking. Unbelievable.
Oh, no, don't do it. I just knew Hillary was going to do it. Oh, it's in the steering column. Yeah, I get it.
No.
She wasn't driving. Okay.
Wait. You don't even want me to start with the Challenger joke, so let's move on to the next step.
Yeah, we're not going to move into space shuttle jokes. We're not. No, next week is the last one, Penguin Project. This is the next. Well, I don't know. I might get canceled after this episode. I don't know. I've offended a lot of people. We've arranged a dating game with an unknown person. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff. We've done some bad stuff today. I've drank. Yeah, I don't know.
This is what happens when you get locked in.
Next week, is highly questionable, just like that show on ESPN with what's that guy's name?
Yeah, that's where John Lennon signed the paperwork to officially disband the Beatles. That is correct.
Yeah, it was at the Poly. The Beatles found their end
with Yoko, just chilling.
Okay.
He probably said something like this. He is.
So this is about to be a very difficult matchup, but we have another matchup. Thankfully, it is a bonus life match, so we do get to bring something back, but I promise you it will still be painful, at least for me. Okay. So, Kevin, tee it up. Here's our last matchup of the day. Disney Deathmatch. Revive a legend. You can revive the Adventurers Club or Horizons, the two most iconic things missing from Disney World these days. This one is like, makes me happy, but makes me sad and makes me conflicted, and I don't know what to do. So I'm going to need help, because the Adventurers Club is the best bar that's ever been on Disney property. And Horizons is the best attraction that's ever been on Disney property. So,
wow. That seems very accurate, if that's your exact opinion, Eric. That's strictly your opinion.
It is my opinion only, but my opinion's worth 2 points on this show.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, how do we even go about this? This is Hillary is going to lead off, and Hillary is. I kind of suspect I know how Hillary feels about this. Hold on, I'm writing.
I'm going to be really honest. I don't remember going on Horizons. I know what it is. Like, I remember it being there, but I don't remember what it was inside. How long has that been gone?
Since
600 years.
2005, maybe. I don't know. It's been gone a while. Like they closed it and reopened it. Was it? Yeah, they closed it and they closed it in like 2005, and then like kind of reopened it and kind of went back and forth. It was kind of, I don't know.
According to Wikipedia, let's see.
It officially closed in September 2008.
Yeah, they closed it in 94, and then again they closed it, I guess, in 90. Oh,
yeah, 99 was the.
Yeah, I don't know where the 2008 came from. It's been gone for a long time, because it was that's where Mission Space is now. So I don't know what we got in the 2000s, but it was in the 90s, like 95 and 98.
Remind me what was inside. Like a dark
So
ride?
Horizons was it was sponsored by General Electric, and it was the ride that you would go through, and it would kind of combined all of Epcot's visions. So it wasn't just about space or about something. It was about communications and technology, and you would go to space, and you would go to they had the like Orange Grove in the desert. Do you remember the Orange Grove in the desert? And they had the sea base. Sea Castle was the place where people lived in the sea. At one point, you would trigger a movie. You got to pick a movie with buttons, and dividers would come up in your ride vehicle. So you could make out with someone, or you could watch a movie and not see other people's movies. So it was the best makeout ride in Disney history. It was the best ride in Disney. It was I mean, it was like 20 minutes long. It was like an epic. It was huge. It was grand. It was amazing. Back in the like 80s.
Ride that replaced it. Mission Space is the best makeout ride on property.
Oh, no, I don't agree. Yeah, come get a zero gravity makeout session. So, but Horizons was super innovative, had all these cool technologies. But the problem was a lot of their predictions came true. Like it got to the point where people were like, yeah, we know that. We have that. We have this, whatever. We still are not picking oranges with robots, as far as I know, but we probably could if we wanted to.
Well, let's go to our robot consultant.
But I know Hillary has been, our robot consultant, Russ the robot. Yeah. So that, if that answers your question, Hillary, it was like, and actually the orange smell there, I think they took some of the smells from Horizons and actually moved those machines that do it to Spaceship Earth because their smell machine broke. So when they tore down Horizons, they actually took some of the smell machine over to Spaceship Earth. So it lives on in that respect only. So if you like the smell of Rome burning, maybe that was from Horizons. I don't know.
So then I feel like I probably don't have even experiences with both. I have been to the Adventurers Club. I remember going there young, and this is what really like excited me about the whole thing was that the cast members would have like one night of the week, maybe it was Thursday, and they would all go like dancing at Pleasure Island. Like it was like a whole thing.
It was probably not Thursday. It's probably like a Tuesday or Wednesday was cast member night.
Okay.
Slow
but
night.
I definitely remember being in the Adventurers Club underage. I guess you could get in there underage. But
Stop telling stories about things that I did with you when you were under, like how I used to sneak you in places when you were underage. We don't need to talk about that. I don't know what the statute of limitations on contributing to the delinquency of a minor is, but yeah, I did take you to the Adventurers Club a few times.
I just remember that very, very well for whatever reason and thought, oh my God, it's going to be so cool when I'm like 21, I'll come here and party with the cast members and blah, blah, blah.
Basically, I turned you into an alcoholic by introducing you to the Adventurers.
But I really don't. I remember Horizons-ish, but I don't remember it that well. So I don't feel like I am the best person to make this decision.
Okay, that's fair. Eric Wolf.
So I completely don't remember Horizons as in like myself enjoying it, writing it kind of thing. I've seen video. I've seen, I hear
There's an
people talk
amazing
about
video right now. If you go Retro Disney World podcast made an amazing like 4K quality video for I don't know if I'm allowed to plug other organizations. Retro Disney World podcast is amazing, but
Retro
they did have an
WDW,
awesome.
Right?
Yeah, they have an amazing 4K video of Horizons wide through. I recommend everybody check it out. It's a great video. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
Well, no, you're good. That's exactly the video that I've seen. I've seen others. I've seen people talk about it. Here's the thing, and this is the thing. Just in my point, we all know Disney. We all know Disney was not going to keep up with it. Like things changed, and
Disney does everything on time. Disney does everything on time.
It's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know. Like it was a little too, like you said, some of the things in that ride already came into fruition, and like they tried to change it, not really, kind of thing. So it's just very much like
GE. I think GE pulled out. So at the time, Disney wasn't going to put their own money into these attractions to retheme. And when GE pulled out, I'm going to get fired. Yeah. GE withdrew their financing for this project. The agreement ended, and anyway, so
breaking news. Breaking news in the chat.
Patrick Brock is still single, guys. Chubby, bearded, and lonely, with a popcorn emoji. Thank you, Patrick.
With the popcorn.
But everyone knows how I like atmospheric entertainment. And I love the whole cast of the Adventurers Club. I love the theme. I love everything that I've seen of it. I unfortunately was not able to go, but this would definitely be a place that I would be going to often. So yeah, that's like my vote's basically there. I'm not gonna vote yet, but it's basically there. Next person.
Go ahead, Pete.
So just full disclosure, I did not get to do either of these things when they were around. So all I have is story and lore. But I think everyone who knows this show or me or has just figured me out in the last 10 minutes knows what I'm going with. So
it involves
I'll keep
drinking.
it a mystery for a little bit longer.
All right, Allison.
Okay. I did go on Horizons a couple of times, and I love the attraction. I love that you can choose your own ending, which is very unique. Love it.
Good
It's
for a
such
makeout ride.
classic original. What was it? Yeah, well, I was a little
gonna get
one.
us
I was
kicked
a
off the air.
child, so no making out involved at all whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, Horizons, very unique ending, and I thought it was very well done. I had never gone to the Adventurers Club, but all of the pictures and everything that everybody's always said about the Adventurers Club sounds amazing. People love things that are heavily themed and themed in when it's done right. I always appreciate when people get into character and do any sort of live show or live performance, and I always enjoy supporting that. So it's going to be tough because one I've been on and experienced and love from my childhood. The other one I've not experienced, but has really amazing theming, which I appreciate.
So, guys, check it out. The Retro WDW podcast, their version of Horizons is amazing. It is peak Epcot. It represented all the best things about Epcot at the time. And it was when you could do an epic attraction and it seemed like budget was no concern. Probably because GE was footing the bill and Disney was not. It's really like on a super epic grand scale. It's just a really cool ride. The audio, I don't know how many animatronics they had on that ride, but it's dozens. It was spectacular. Adventurers Club, you have the interaction with the cat. It was a great concept. And you have all those cast members and very talented and funny and entertaining and all that. Having that, like, I wish I lived here now, or now that I live here, I wish I'd lived here then when I could just go over there on a Thursday night, Tuesday night and check it out. I don't, but I miss it. So, tough vote. These are both the two things I miss the most. So I don't know if that means anything to anybody else, but it's right in my sweet spot. If you're my age, if you graduated class of 92, these are right in your sweet spot. You probably missed these two. Patrick Brock, hashtag Hillary loves me, giving me Janine G Buster vibes. Oh boy. Here we go. Our mom's name is Janine. So no, I don't think it's our mom's name is Janine.
No, Janine from Ghostbusters.
It's Janine from Ghostbusters.
I believe it's pronounced Ghostbusters.
Gotcha. Like Annie
Buster.
Yeah.
I love her.
All right, kids. We're going to kick off
All
the
right.
voting with you, Hillary. You go first, just like always.
I vote for booze.
Adventures Club for Hillary.
Gongaloosh.
Gongaloosh.
Wolf.
Gongaloosh.
Give me a howl.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Pete.
My YouTube channel is literally Adventures by Carney. I'm going Adventurers Club. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Allison.
I've never experienced it. I'm not a big drinker, but the atmosphere and all the stories have me just wanting to see it. Adventurers Club.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to read you guys a text. So our friend Earl, who you guys saw a couple weeks ago, Jason, sent me a text. I told him what I was doing, and he texted. I told him our final matchup was. He said, Horizons versus Adventurers Club, you sadistic blank hole.
Wow.
The most difficult choice we've ever had for me personally. But oh, man, I don't know. I didn't know which I would pick when I picked the matchup. I don't know what to pick now. But I think I go with Adventurers Club. So that is 10-0 right now. We're working a shutout. What do you got, Hillary?
What are you doing, Hillary?
I can't hear you. That's a sweep.
It's a
No, put that broom away. People standing brooms up is what brought on this plague. They said they got to close the portal. They got to close the portal by setting brooms up again. Remember, right before the COVID-19 hit was when everybody was putting brooms standing on their own on like Facebook, and I think that opened the portal. That's what brought the disease. So, It's a tough
All right.
vote. I still wish I could change my vote. But Eric, go ahead. Oh God, Patrick,
Eric,
watching WDWNT from jail and donating money. # bless.
1,000 points. You make all the rules. It's your game.
Yeah. Now we're all right now. It's a 10-0 shutout for Adventurers Club. Eric Wolf, please open the voting. Let's do it. Only vote once. In between the blue wrenches. I went. By the way, the last day of the Adventurers Club was open, so that was cool.
Wow.
Horizons, I don't know where I was when that closed, but I was upset that it was gone. I think it was a surprise. I don't think I was like keeping up. I don't think I was following day by day news of the Disney parks back then in the 90s. Like,
No,
I think I just went and it was gone one time. I was like, oh crap. Yeah.
I don't think I had a computer. What was it, 94?
Well, I was when it closed. I was in the Marine Corps station in Guantanamo Bay at the time when it closed, so I probably didn't know anything. I had like an AOL account. Like I basically could log in, send my email, receive my email, and log out, so that I didn't have to pay long distance charges from Cuba. Wow.
Hey, Eric.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Hillary. Hillary came to visit me one time in San Antonio or in Texas.
In Guantanamo Bay, she visited you?
Yeah. No, not in Guantanamo. Nobody came to visit me in Guantanamo Bay. Hillary, I was stationed in Texas one time, and at like an Intel training base, and Hillary came and then we drove to San Antonio. We went to SeaWorld and went to the Alamo. And Hillary shed a single tear, as I recall. She was still in high school or junior high. I don't know. I know you were into Mariah Carey back then. Oh yeah, that
whole ride to Texas was. Well, I can't forget this evening. Oh, your face as you will leave. And her like cover of "Can't Live."
Oh, don't bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick said 6 of his cellmates vote for Adventurers Club, but it's only a $2 donation. So we'll do $2 for a super chat donation for Adventurers Club.
Also, David just put it for Grand Floridian. It already happened, dude.
Sorry, David. We're too late for Grand Floridian.
It's too late. You have
only
to
cash, only money talks for Grand Floridian.
So I don't see any voting. Voting's kind of slow. Do you want me to?
I saw some. No, I saw some.
There's some voting.
Oh no! Bianca Loves Disney said, "Who sings that song, Hillary?" Oh, you got no way.
I'll get
Eric, I see a bunch of voting. Did you not see all this voting?
Well, no, I'm already caught up.
He's caught up.
And I've just been like waiting.
Oh, burn! I can't live. Anyway,
if living is without you.
Let's close the voting.
Close it.
I can't live. Living without,
ding,
you.
Ding, ding.
All right. So Eric's going to tally them up. We're going to just shoot the breeze for a minute here to give him some time to do math. Math is why I don't have a better job.
Was a second vote. He said voting again.
Oh, yeah. You can't vote twice.
Yeah, only one.
Whoa, David.
Unless you super chat it.
Now,
it's Saturday.
Hold on. I have breaking news.
Oh, breaking.
Disney Destinations just emailed me about Disney Springs. Let's see what they have to say.
I got the one. I just read it. Yeah.
As we begin to reopen Disney Springs with a number of shopping and dining locations beginning May 20th, safety and well-being are at the forefront of our planning efforts as we welcome back our guests, some cast members, and third-party operating participants. As part of these efforts, guests may see other changes to our retail and dining offerings and other experiences. Though it may be different from the last time you visited, these new measures are designed to offer a magical Disney experience in a responsible way. Click here to learn more. I'm good. All right. No, we were not going to. No, Patrick wants us to take off our shirts and truffle shuffle. That's not happening. This is a family show.
Oh, no.
This is a family show. I appreciate the $2, but it's a family show. You don't want to see that.
What account is?
You don't want to see the tattoo of Estelle Getty I have on my stomach.
Eric, this is looking like a close race.
Is it a close race, Eric? What do we got?
Is it?
Somewhat. We got what's the Horizons has 12 votes. So it's 12 votes for Horizon.
Okay.
And then we got Adventurers Club just under that with 8 votes.
8 votes.
Interesting.
But our panel was 10 vote. We had 10 points for Adventurers Club.
Yep.
That's
18
right.
plus a super chat, which makes it 20. So 20 to 12 Adventurers Club wins.
That's right. Bringing it back.
So anyway, I'm gonna text Bob Chapek right now.
Solid waste. Even the word, you speak his name and you get frozen.
Right?
That's what happens.
Someone,
Robo
and then
knows.
what happens?
The two
That was
things, you don't
literally
talk
the-
about Chapek and you don't talk about Butters. Both of them will cut
Yep.
your internet.
That's the most money that he's ever made with Frozen, so that's what happens.
So, from everyone on the channel, and you guys all live there and such, are you heading to Disney Springs when it opens? Are you going to wait it out? Or? Okay.
I'm going first day.
Masks?
I'm.
Yes.
Oh, Pete's muted. I'm waiting a little bit. I tend to err a little bit more on the side of, let me see what it looks like. I want to see like the reporters. I want to see what the procedures look like. I want to see what people are walking around. How are they acting? I kind of want to hear the social media reports and check like the WDWNT news site first, see what it looks like, and then go, okay, let me go participate.
Don't you think it'll be pretty chill because there won't be tourists there?
It'll be
I'm probably
local.
going to go soon after it opens, but not necessarily day one.
Okay.
All right. What was I saying when I went dead? Did you guys hear me texting Bob Chapek about to open the Adventures
Yes, that was the last thing you heard you say.
Every time you say you go frozen.
Correct. And every time I
That's
hear the
what
word
I'm right
frozen, I sing Let It Go in my head.
All right. All right, guys.
No,
So
that was
please
good.
join us next Saturday. We will have our final show. So shed a tear, pour out a drink, do what you got to do. Next week is it. For now, anyway. If you have anything you want us to include next week in our final episode, please email me, Eric M at WDWNT.com. Allison, do you want to share with them who's going to be joining us next week?
So I recently got, I contacted an individual that is a citizen of Hollywood, and he said yes. So I'm excited that he's going to be on.
Yes.
Do you want me to say?
Don't be vague. I'll say it. Join us
don't
next
be vague.
week for One Scenario.
One
Yes! With the citizens of Hollywood. So,
Wait, who? I'm lost.
One Scenario. He's like the head guy of the citizens of Hollywood at the
He's
studios.
the director guy.
Yeah.
Director guy.
You were all just talking at the same time, so I didn't hear anything. So now I gotcha.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's one scenario? Yeah. We got him. He's coming next week. Unless he's seen today, unless he's like watched today's show, in which case he might tell Allison thanks, but no thanks. We already had a Voice of the Liberty member go dark on us.
Yeah, I asked an individual from the Voices of Liberty. She was very, very interested, but she had to like check a few things. So
She had to check with the union and with her manager, and then we haven't heard from her.
But but I haven't heard back from her. So she's still a question mark. But Juan said yes. He gave me a yes.
Man.
So here we go. Next week, tune in for One Scenario. Guys, you have been watching Locked In with Eric Morton. We gave you a free post show where we gave you free 30 minutes. We were supposed to go 11 to 2. This always happens. It's my fault because I'm bad at managing time and I picked the wrong friends. So no, guys, thanks. Hillary, Eric, Pete, Allison, thank you for joining the panel. Kevin Lake, thank you so much for being our producer all of these 9 weeks so far. We've done literally a whole grading period when I was in grade school. We've done a whole 9 weeks now. So, I'm touched by all the support. And guys, if you like the show, please share it with your friends. We have our finale next week. Locked In with Eric Morton featuring Patrick Brock. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll find a girlfriend for Patrick by then. So thank you very much. And we will see you next week. Please go to WDWNT.com for all your news, and please become a Wigs member. Go to patreon.com/WDWNT for as little as $2 a month. You can get all this great content and more. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Steve on code.